What's up, y'all? Hope everybody's doing well tonight. This is the Good Samaritan show. You know, it's every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Hope y'all doing all right. Hope everybody's cool. What's up, Tracy? How you
Hey, hey, what's going on, everyone? How you doing, Mr. Kevin Stansel?
All right. I'm doing all right. Trying to make it through. You know how it is. We doing good though. Just a few weeks post the dramatic loss, and we're gonna move on from it. We just a lot of people are still talking about it. At this point, I'm extremely excited to say that he's in a better place now. So,
Yes,
um,
absolutely.
he lived his life, and we're grateful, we're happy, we're excited. We are totally um, just ready to see what the next phase is gonna be. That's all. So yeah, we are on here to celebrate another episode of the Good Samaritan Show. I have to go back to the first one because I need to see exactly how long we've been on here. I forgot. But it's been a while. I remember the first time I asked you to be on here, I know you was like, "What show? What are you talking about? What show are you
No,
talking about?"
I actually knew about the show.
Oh, you did. So you
Yeah.
saw me and some of the other people on there acting
Yes,
crazy
yes.
and just decided you're gonna join the tomfoolery. All right, that's all good.
Absolutely.
So but yeah, we're super excited about being here tonight. We got some topics tonight. When I tell y'all, folk been out here tripping lately. They've been out here doing some of the most. Let me go over here to my banners and make sure I got everything I need to have on here because I want to be sure that everybody knows what we about to talk about. But yes, I think we're getting ready to deal with some stuff tonight. So, Tracy, how you been over there in your world? What's been going on?
My world is it's my world. You know, it's short, just like me,
Yeah,
but it's my world. It is what it is.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh huh.
I'm I'm of course you posted something the other day. I think it was was today. It was today.
It was today.
You posted something, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to hear from you. The people don't know that you don't talk a lot. You kind of just sit and observe and listen, and
I
you don't
do.
really say too much. But when Tracy got something to say, y'all better listen because
Yeah.
she getting. I think we getting ready to have some real talk in a minute. I want to send a shout out to all the individuals who are starting to catch on to the Good Samaritan show. I want y'all to keep dealing with it. Social media is a job in itself, and it don't always pay in the beginning. You gotta stay with it, stay consistent. The camera is a little bit better thanks to Tanya. Got the green screen back here. It's that stuff costs money, but then just the constant content, like you gotta keep posting, you gotta just stay on it. It's a full-time job. So we're very happy to say that we can, do this effectively. And I'm just grateful that, a lot of us are here tonight. We're gonna have a good time. The other people will be here when they get here. Tracy and I don't wait for nobody.
We don't wait.
Yeah, so we go ahead and move on. And then later on, of course, I have my little drinks right here that I'm getting ready to pour
Oh
into this
my.
little thing so I can have my stuff going. Because, ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of joy juice.
My
Yes, sir.
goodness.
That's what Flip Wilson called it. He said joy juice. So yeah, we're excited. We're gonna have some fun out here tonight. Tracy, I wanted to wait for everybody else.
Yeah.
But I think the show should start with you tonight since everybody else is late. It's
Oh,
6:05. We've already been out here 5 minutes. Um, I think this is a big enough week where everybody has their own interpretation of what's going on. So I'm gonna start off with this whole Diddy thing. Um, I just don't know what else to say at this point. I don't know what. I really don't know what to say. Let's hear from you on your scope on it. I got some stuff to say, but let's
well,
hear what you think.
okay. See, yeah, I wanted to wait for everybody because that's what part of my drama was about. on my post
Hmm.
was about that. Wanted to wait
Oh,
for
okay.
somebody. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But here
All
we
right. Here we are. So, they can
are. Yeah.
chime in. They'll be here soon. Go ahead. They coming.
So, you know, somebody had sent me a message and said, he is declining to eat. Where he is, they say he's not eating. I'm like, okay, and my response was, okay, so he won't be eating more anus beef. Yep, I started early. Here we are. That was my response, right?
Oh boy. All
So
right.
somebody walked up to me, um, of another race today, and they were like, "Have you heard about anything going on with him?" And I said, "Yes, I've heard." They said, "Oh my God, it's terrible." And I said, "Well, it's terrible to the people he did it to. I mean, not for him." "Oh yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant." I was like, "Okay." So then, Avery, what's going on?
What's
What's up,
poppin'?
brother?
How everybody doing?
Good.
What's up, man?
So then they say to me, I have these videos that are popping up on my feed, on my time thing, and I guess it's YouTube. I don't know because I didn't ask any questions. I just kind of stayed silent. And so they were like, these videos that are popping up. One of them, I can't see anybody because the screen is black. It's all blacked out. I said, okay. And there's, you can hear audio, and these aren't my words. They're they're the words that are coming up, So this is what it was saying, and they started using the N word. I was like, oh, hey, no, this is not okay. You're white, I'm black. This is not okay. No, don't use that. Well, these aren't my words. No, what you thought was you're going to try me to see if I was okay with you saying that in my presence. I'm not okay with it.
Hmm.
Not at all.
So I let it be known, hey, I'm not okay. And I walked off. I was actually at my desk, so they came up to me. So I walked
Right.
off. And I motioned for somebody else of my race to like, hey, come with me, because I need to talk to you for a second. And I told them what was going on. So um, I had to calm down, and I had
Hmm.
to really pray about it because my immediate reaction is to flip out.
Absolutely.
These people have never seen me flip out. They don't know
Right.
what
Right.
a Tracy
Let
flip
them
out looks like.
let them
Right.
know.
Nah, I don't think so, because that's really a call the cops straight jacket situation. It really can get like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. So went and I prayed and I got myself together. I called my mom. I sat in my car and I talked to her and stuff. And so afterwards, I said, I think I need to go to human resources. So I did that. And I sat in human resources and I talked to them. And they said, well, let me ask you a question. Was this before or after lunch? And I was like, what kind of dumb question is that? And then I thought about it. I was like, it's after lunch. But this person has a substance problem.
Mm.
So I guess after lunch is when they, you know,
Do they think?
juice, yeah, do their thing, juice up, drink up, smoke up, whatever the case may be. And so she began to write some stuff down. She was like, no, that's the issue. We're going to talk about this.
Right.
I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'm not here to cause trouble or, mean anybody any harm, but I just want them to know that's not okay.
Right.
Because the thing is, if you say that to the right person on the wrong day, that could be a situation.
Sure can.
And just so happen, I let them know, just so happen you caught me on a good day, and every day is not a good day, Because I'm like, hey, my father was murdered by a white man. Now,
Hmm.
it was not a race type murder, but this is what it was. And so today is a good day. You caught me on a good day where I'm not dealing with some stuff mentally because you had to caught me on a bad day, you know, handcuffs and red trucks. I'm just telling you.
Well, it's good that you wasn't triggered by that, because I mean, even whether it's a good or bad day, having the trigger can set you off. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I mean, okay, yeah, Diddy has done what he has done. And I saw somebody made a post that some of our conventions and conferences, church conferences, have been freak offs. And they have. Let's be honest.
Mm, mm,
Let's
mm,
be
mm,
honest. And we
Right.
knew it.
mm,
We
mm,
knew
mm,
it.
mm,
Now, some
Yeah,
mm.
and it's
people may know,
probably some of them been worse.
yeah, a whole lot worse. I mean, it is. I mean, yeah, it happened. Um, I think he's made the wrong person mad, and that's what that is.
Yeah, so here's the reality. I saw on Facebook a while ago, and it wasn't Facebook, it was TikTok actually. And Luke from Two Live Crew, Luke was up there and he said, you know, Diddy said something about um, the Ciroc brand. And he
Mm-hmm.
said that, when he said something about the brand and, he put that out there like that, that it kind of hurt the whole situation because in essence, when these companies have given you things and they've given you houses and they've given you cars and they've given you, the suits or whatever. He said they put you in the tux, you in the monkey suit, go out there and, um, represent the brand or whatever. I think it was being said from allegedly from Puffy that, Ciroc was treating him like a monkey or they would treat him like, just an animal. And he basically told it. So Luke was like, well, here's where you messed up.
Right.
I don't care what goes on. If all they doing is doing certain things, whatever, but they ain't hurting your character, they ain't destroying your money, they ain't you shut up. You know, you go ahead and you do what you need to do and you hush your mouth because you talking too much. But the moment you say something that damages their income, you in trouble. And what happened was whatever he said, it damaged their sales on the stock market.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when
Now
that
that's
happened,
crazy.
Ciroc went back and looked and they said, oh, really? And see, here's the thing. My aunt always said this. I don't talk to her much, but she always said this. She said, if you're going to do something, do it with somebody that you know
Go.
that has much to lose as you do.
Yep.
Because when you deal with a person that doesn't have as much to lose as you do, and y'all doing the same thing, if that person don't have nothing to lose, they don't care about you losing either.
That's true.
Because they don't have nothing to lose. And when you deal with stuff like that, you put yourself in a position where it's like, yo, you gonna say what? Oh, but you gotta understand, we know your truth too. If we pull them covers back, you're gonna find a gang of stuff. And so that's what they did. And as a result of that, we got to a point where people were just like, yo, it's starting. Like, if you notice, it all happened in one fell swoop. They started
It
showing
really
TD
did.
Jakes, and then they started showing Kim Porter, and now J-Lo being pulled. The guy Shine that used to be in Puffy's camp, he's the only one person say, I forgive him. He's the only one person. This man did 10 years for Puffy.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
10 years in jail. He shot
Mm,
somebody and he took the rap for Puffy. And he's on TikTok and all social media forums saying basically, yo, this man ruined my life.
yeah.
He ruined my life. He literally took my life and just put it in shambles. And he said, but I forgive him.
But the crazy
So,
thing is, bro, like if we really paid attention to Orlando Brown years ago,
That's true.
even though he may sound like he was off the wall, he was telling us what Puffy and them were doing to him.
yeah,
He was literally, and
yeah.
everybody was, oh, he's just trying to be goofy. And no, he was literally telling you everything that's now coming into the light right now.
I said this before. Hollywood is always trying to tell us something.
That is so
Mhm.
They
true.
always trying to tell us. I always got to go back to this one form because this is what happened. when Enemy of the State came out and Will Smith and Hugh Jackman and all them does when they came, not Hugh Jackman. Well, I'm looking at the man, Larry. I forgot his name. Anyway,
Lawrence
they were in
Fishburne?
that movie. No, they were. It was him and the guy. But anyway, they were starting to show how people were watching you from the fire detectors, smoke detectors, and the phones, and they had cameras
Yeah.
and all the mirrors, and they had all sorts of stuff. And it was like, yo, I'm telling y'all, in a few shakes, this is what it's gonna be like. You know,
Right.
back in the day when Star Trek, they was talking to
Yeah.
people through the teleportation thing, and they
Yes.
looking through the window saying we're gonna be doing FaceTime. I'm like, yeah, right. Well, here we are, 40 years later.
Right.
I'll
And
take it back a little further. Even if you ever been to Epcot Center, which is a part of Disney,
Mhm.
that actual ride shows you that we're able to talk to people and on TV and doing FaceTime. And this ride was actually invented way like in the 50s and 60s.
Mhm.
So I mean, they saw something that we didn't, you know, we
yeah,
didn't see.
they
We still waiting
saw
for
it,
flying cars.
right. But I
Yeah.
think the thing about them too is that a lot of people are not hip to the fact that there were a lot of things that they were showing us from Hollywood. And when you really look at some of the stuff that's going on right now, you can see, like, even with the movie The Purge, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
Like
Right.
they telling us, hey, eventually,
Get it
we
going.
don't know exactly. We never told y'all when it was going to happen,
When? Right.
but we just letting y'all know at some
It's
particular
going to
point,
happen.
depending on who's in that White House and who's calling the shots, it's gonna be like this.
Right.
You know,
Mm.
and it's you know, like even now, if you think about it, they're giving us the right to bear arms. They didn't do that before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If they're giving you the right to bear arms, and even in some states you can carry as long as you got your permit on you, it ain't got to be locked up in your house. You can literally have a gun on you in
Carry it. Yep.
Texas.
Sure can.
You know,
North
you can
Carolina
literally
too.
carry a gun on you.
Virginia as well.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. Now out here, no, they ain't doing that yet. And this is the West. You know, we was known for guns out here. They
The
like,
Wild
heck
West.
no. Y'all no. You carrying, you got a safety pin, man. Get against the car. Like, you know, they on
And
that
you can
stuff.
forget about the East, man, because they find a gun on you, you automatically get locked up.
Yeah. I mean, that's carrying a concealed weapon, that's their charge. But at the end of the day, they're gonna start letting this stuff go because again, Hollywood has informed us by the time things get to this point, I'm telling y'all now, it's getting ready to be a mess. And I think the biggest thing about it is that what we have to understand is that it's all written in stone, like it's gonna go down. They've been
That's
trying to
true.
tell us, you know, they've been saying it. So what I feel about Diddy is that this was said last week. I'm going to echo it, but I'm also going to piggyback off of it. The bottom line was there are people who are just addicted to not getting caught.
Yeah.
And they're addicted to the race for supremacy when it comes to saying, I have a certain amount of money. But what I learned about this country is I don't care how much money you have. If you black, I don't care what kind of money you got.
Right.
I do not care. If you are black, they will look at your 500 million like $5.
Sure will.
And they
And
will
treat
tell
it like
you and treat, listen, you can't. That judge told that boy, you will not get out of jail until your trial. And even then, you're going to be in custody.
Mm.
And he offered them $50 million bail money. And that judge said no. Then he was in the worst jail known to man. And so he went from Brooklyn, New York to Newark, New Jersey. I was like, I don't know if that was an upgrade because that's like jumping out the pan into the fire. Because
right.
what you got to understand is these people have a network. So whatever you thought you was going through in Brooklyn, these boys across the bridge don't care. They're gonna be like, we over here too. Yeah, I'm friends with such and such and so and so. You know what I'm saying? So, the 1,000 bottles of baby oil and you know, just all that stuff.
And lube.
I was trying not to say that, but since you said it, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Oh no, Tracy.
Oh man.
Slide some oil to me. Man, I'm surprised ain't nobody put that. I should probably put that. I'll probably get 100,000 followers off of that joint.
Right.
But I don't feel that I think he was just thinking that if I haven't been caught this long by now, then I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah.
But
I
one
think he
thing I
got
know,
sloppy.
Yeah.
well, of course he did, because he did. Listen, they only get sloppy when they feel they don't have anything to worry about.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, if you feel you're gonna get caught, then yeah, you real like, because see, the other thing is you have to understand that with all of your antics and everything that you're doing to pass the time and say this is who you are, you're a freaky this and freaky that, blah blah blah. You got to remember that there's some people out here you did not take care of.
That's the truth.
Word.
So when they see you out here living your best life and living lavish and having white parties and all this other stuff, and you got they publishing locked up, and they listen, they get ready to tell on you.
Better know it.
When you do this stuff, you got to make sure that you got everybody taken care of. Because I'm telling you, when you don't have everybody taken care of and you out here doing dirt, it is only a matter of seconds before they turn around and let the world know. By the way, y'all see him over there? Yeah, okay. That's
Like
what y'all
Suge-
think you're doing.
Like Suge Knight said, all in the videos, dancing
Yeah.
in the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sure did.
Man, yo.
Doing all this stuff, but you out here, you got people's publishing locked up. You got, people's rights locked up, people doing shows, you taking their bread, they ain't got no money when they get off the stage. Like, you doing all of that. And then
That's
you out
crazy.
here having, dude, no. See, what I know about people that's doing right, they don't have to live like you living. See, what you did was you was getting away with murder, so you thought you can get away with everything.
Right.
Only to find out that the reality of it is you're not getting away with nothing. I'm saying it again. If you out here doing a bunch of stuff and you owe people, or you out here, living your best life and living it up and showing people you doing this and doing that, but you ain't got your business straight with other folk and you ain't clearing out your balances and zeroing out all of your, your debits and, or credits rather, and, you doing all that stuff, it's only a matter of time before they come out and be like, did he just buy another car? Hold on, let me tell on this fool. You know what I'm saying? He got another girl. Well, yeah, let's talk about this. They're very quick. So you got to be careful. You got to watch your mouth out here and watch your deeds, because folks is looking at you.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing right now is just we have to be very mindful of the fact that right now things are what they are because you're doing too much, man.
And the sad part is you got people that are heavy named in the church that is hard, bro. It's like they already make a mockery of what we believe based off of our actions. So now you being who you are in the light, it makes it a little work. Nobody's gonna take us serious, bro.
Right. And I think that's really, I was reading today, somebody had a hard time with it, but I was reading today that they said that Bishop Jake stepped down, or he moved to the side so that his daughter and her husband could take over the church. And, I think once this actually started hitting, he started lawyering up. He was like, nope, let me go over here and get this together. Because I really, not knowing can be dangerous, before you know, you get blindsided with some stuff. So I was like, yeah, at this point, brother, we got to be very careful. But, a lot of people are being affected by this stuff. So, at this point, you got to really just, take it for what it is. And listen, sometimes you just got to bag back, throw up the deuces sign and just go somewhere and chill. You know what I'm saying? Just don't take it upon yourself to think that you can, sit up there and be okay. You're not okay. This is not okay. You really got people out here struggling, because you're out here doing some real nasty narcissistic stuff, which is pretty much what you are at this point.
Yeah.
And it's really becoming a thing where now You're being exposed. And I hate this for you because you locked up. Your money don't mean nothing. They don't
No.
care nothing about your bread, bro. They want you to be tried and sentenced. They don't want, because now the Kim Porter situation comes up.
Yes.
Now the Al B. Shore and Jamie Foxx situation comes up. Now the Shine situation comes up. Now Faith Evans. I've forgotten that I remember song. She was standing on the stage and all girls around her was looking like 10 and 12-year-olds.
Yep.
There's little girls dancing around her, and somebody put in the caption like, "What was Puffy thinking then?" Like they're little girls.
I also found out that one of the women in one of his videos, well, Biggie's video, I'm sorry, I think it was Juicy. One of the women in that video was actually a transvestite.
Yes.
Okay, that's about right.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I ain't shocked. I get it, but I'm not shocked at all because at the end of the day, we do understand how a lot of these jokers get down when it comes to this,
You, right, like the video back in the day where whatever video, I don't think it was the I Remember video, but I think it was another video where the two dudes are in the bathroom at the stall and seemed to be a lady.
It was what's the one that was don't go big, I think it's Big Papa. No.
I forgot.
One more chance. It's one more chance.
Yes,
that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and it's a lady standing there peeing at the stall, and they look like, okay, and they walk off. And when I was younger, I was like, what the world is this about? Okay.
Good God.
They was telling us then.
As I told you, they were telling us then. We just wasn't paying attention.
We just wasn't paying attention.
Like, this the new Puffy video. That's all we knew. We wasn't. When Mace was talking, I was like, Mace is not gonna talk like this. And I mean, he was getting at. He wasn't backing off. He wasn't trying to say, whatever. He was like, nah, I'm telling y'all, this man up to no good. He keeping publishing and, songs he write, we ain't getting paid the right amount of money. And I'm like, why, dude?
Yeah.
You made so much money. You were the faction at that time. Like you, Biggie, Mace, Danity Kane, Day 26, Faith, Mary J. Blige. You had all these people.
And Mace admitted, like, if it wasn't Biggie with the pen, I mean, outside of the locks, of course, but if it wasn't Biggie with the pen, it was him. Most of the stuff that Diddy sung or rapped was written by Mace. And you didn't get a dime, brother? Like,
hey, here's the thing. I think what they did was, I was with another group back in the day, and there was a movie that came out, and it was basically saying how, they had hush money or hush prizes, so they would say, hey, man, you like that Maybach right there? Yo, give him that. Yo, just take that. We got you on the back end with her. And you ain't thinking like, yeah, right, whatever. If somebody just bought you a $500,000 car, you're going to be like, oh, all is good.
Yeah. Right.
And if it's $500,000 in the car, but they giving you 20,000, you still add all of it up. But in reality, that was hush money. That was literally something for you to say, all right, cool. You ain't got nothing to complain about. Be here tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it is. And in this music business, what I do know is that the reason why a lot of people fought so much in the music business was because that you had to fight so hard to get a certain amount of money. Right? So you figure an artist only gets like 8.5 cents per album. You know what I'm saying? So you had to make bank. You had to write hits. You had to write hits. You had to stand and keep writing hits because you only getting 8.5 cents per album. If you think about it. So back in the day, Mariah Carey got a $20 million deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had Prince on Jay Leno, and he was like, yo, so Mariah got a $20 million deal, right? He said, yeah. He said, you think that's fair? He said, all right, so let me ask you a question. If I do an album, and the album is what? CDs was like $18 back then. Like, you know,
Yeah.
the big jewel cases with the big old
Yeah.
giant handle
Yeah.
on them. So it was like the $18. So he was like, yo, all right. So if I did an album and you said $18, what would you give me for that? He said half. He said, all right, you give me half, right? So Mariah got $20 million. He said, if you giving me half of $18, that's basically $10 an album, right? So if I sell 20,000 units, what do I have? So he said, you got $10 an album and you sold 10,000 units, you get what? He said, yeah, it's $100,000, right? All right, cool. He said, if I go and sell 100,000 albums, how much do I get? He said, if you sell 100 and you're getting $10, but you said 100,000, he said, that's like you're getting 10 million basically. He said, cool. All right. So Mariah got screwed.
She sure
Because
did.
if she only got $20 million for that album, for that deal, and
Yes.
Prince just said, if I sit up here and I get $10 an album and I sell 100,000 albums at $10 an album, that's $1 million. Right? That's give or take. Am I doing the math right? I think I'm right. That's $1 million. So if he got $1 million for 100,000 units, what do you think he would have got for $1 million?
And I think that album went diamond too, bro.
Yeah, she didn't make no money from it. They gave her $20 million and a few parties and a limousine to drive. I mean, they didn't give her a lot of money. 20 million. Now, yeah, you got robbed. Because if you, like he said, now he said half, but what we know about the record business, you're not getting half for no album.
Sure.
No. Not
As
even
was stated, no, 8.5 cents. So the money you were making wasn't your money because they all came from advancements. They came from
right.
tour
Right.
money and all that other stuff. But guess what? At the end of all that stuff, you had to pay all that crap back. Ask TLC, they'll tell you.
Bankrupt.
Ask
Yep.
Pebbles. Ask Pebbles. Pebbles was married to the executive and she got duped.
Bankrupt
Bang.
too.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you
Tony
married to the
Braxton
guy.
was another one.
right.
You know the money coming in, and you still getting duped by the man you laying to with a ring on your finger saying I do. He took your
Yeah,
bread.
that's crazy.
Dad, I wouldn't rob my wife. I wouldn't rob her. You know, but TLC was another one. They out here doing their thing. You know, when NWA was out, you know, Jerry
Yeah.
Heller was out here stealing from them left and right, just taking their money. Because everybody was so excited about the deal, they wasn't paying attention to the business.
They wanted
Right.
to be famous. That's what it
And
was.
that's
know?
what a lot of people don't get.
Yeah,
That, you know, when we see them on a screen or on a stage, their riches is that fame. It's
absolutely.
nothing close to
Absolutely.
what you can put in a bank.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
And
another
here's
thing
the other. Go ahead.
No, I was
No, you
gonna
good.
say the thing that I also found out too, it might be like lavish with stuff in these videos, all these jewelry and clothes and cars
Some of
and
the
all this stuff.
costumes.
But and also at the end of the day, those cars don't belong to these
They're
people.
not yours. They're not
they
yours.
rent it.
Right. So
They're not yours.
They rent them from them luxury car places.
Mhm.
The cars are not yours. The clothes are not yours. The jewelry certainly ain't yours.
No.
If it is, it's fake.
Yeah, and even with that, you know, it's like once y'all really get down to the nitty gritty, a lot of these bands, a lot of these people, Earth, Wind, and Fire, most people. Well, let's talk about us. Frankie Beverly ain't had a hit in 25 years. He was still living off of songs he did 30 years and 35 years ago because
Right.
people want to remember the good times. You know what I'm saying? If he wrote something today, they probably wouldn't have really listened to it because it's not, you know,
It's
it's
not
too
the
new.
same.
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of these bands like Earth, Wind, and Fire and all these guys like Teddy Riley, all of them. I worked with all these guys. They ain't putting out nothing new. You still listening to Groove Me and Piece of My Love and, you know,
Yeah.
let's chill and all. You know,
Same.
because the
Right.
record labels are not paying these guys. And even now, I watched something today where basically now the labels that are still alive and well and that are still doing certain things, we still on Puffy, but the labels that are alive right now, what's going on with these labels are they're going after people who have the hottest trends right now.
That's right.
Right? When you have the hottest trend, they're gonna ride you for that for a little while. And you know, these days this crap be lasting for 6 minutes.
That's
And then once you're done, they drop you and they go to somebody else.
that's on
Because
YouTube.
because now it's a trend. It's not about talent. It's not
Nope.
about artistry. It's about who's trending right now.
That's
So
right.
eventually, if you're not trending, they're not gonna see you. But what I do know about this is that, excuse me, you can build your own artistry. You don't need a
Yes.
label anymore.
No.
Chance the Rapper did it. Good God, that
Yeah.
So, but a lot of them did it. A lot of them did it. A lot of them did it. They got to saying, you know what? Let me get my YouTube channel up. I'm gonna do, you know, this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna sing this song. Like one guy was telling me, you know, he's like, don't give all your secrets away. But he was like, yo, YouTube is free. You can upload, do your songs, do covers,
Yes, right.
and put the covers up on there. When people hear their favorite song being done and you do a cover and it sounds halfway decent, you're going to get a following because they love the song. And what I tell people all the time where they keep messing up, y'all keep trying to reinvent the wheel when it comes to classics. That's where you messing up. Stop trying to make something better when it never needed you in the first place.
That's
at all, bro.
It never
Real.
needed you to beef it up, to take this out, to try to
No.
manipulate it. The problem is not that it needs work. The problem is you do, because what you're letting me know is that you can't really mimic or you can't copy. You can't play the song like it's supposed to be played. So
Right.
you rather make the song look like it need help and you try to do
Right.
something to it. When in
Right.
actuality, what you're finding out is that you are literally tainting the song. You're
That's
contaminating
exactly
it.
right.
You
That's
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you learn how to play the song and you really get to a point where you understand that the concept that you need to operate under is not just listening at the song, but listen to the song. You need to listen
There's
to the part. You
two
know,
totally different things.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
different. And RC said it. They can't create. They listen. People are doing one notes and these trap drums, and they got a hit.
You right.
Bro, that
You
thing wrecks my nerve.
And it won't go nowhere. I'm like, would y'all please stop using these sounds? They're getting on my nerves. Like
Oh,
but as was said, they can't create. And what I know about people who can't create, they will always hate creative people.
that's true. And
They will
it's
never go ahead.
chalk on a board. You know,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
hand, taking your hand on a chalkboard.
But
It's,
that's the
what
problem.
are you doing with these sounds?
That's the problem
Nothing.
I have with music right now, bro. One, what you were saying is true because people lack discipline. That's the first thing.
That is
But
true.
then number two, I don't understand with music how you can have a dope song, bro, musically written perfect, words written, and will not get no type of play. But
Yeah,
this
that's a
little corny stuff that's on the music on the radio now, it's just getting. I don't understand. Like, what is going on with music right now? Like, what is it?
I think what's going on too is that Apple with Logic and Pro Tools and what's the other one, Ableton and all these other DAWs and all this other stuff that's out. They were created to make it easier for people who couldn't afford to go to these studios and
true.
spending $500 an hour and an engineer, and you're gonna be in there for 2 hours setting up. That's $1,000, and that's what it was used for. But at the same time, just because it's used and made easier for you to do it doesn't mean that you get a pass and you just go over here and just make some random whatever. I know I have tracks. If I play them right now, a lot of people don't know that's what I do. Even with the symphonic stuff, the orchestral stuff, they don't know that I do that stuff. And
Right.
but it never gets any play because it's not, oh man, Dr. Dre is one of my favorite all-time producers, top 5. He's one of them. And what I know about him is that's him. We don't need another Dr. Dre. We got one already. So somebody has to come up with something that's not typical, that's not, a regularly scheduled sound or something that we always hear. But it's literally, I was watching a show last night called Reasonable Doubt, and I heard this girl singing, and I was like, that sounds like a Jill Scott song. And it sounded like, dang, they should have just had Jill Scott do it if that's the case. But what I found out was that a lot of times we try to put people in a box because they sound like somebody else. All I have to say is that what you really need to understand is that being identifiable is never going to be popular at first. People are going to look at you strange. They're going to be like, what is this? This don't sound like nothing that's out. Then you should do that then.
Right.
This don't sound like something that's out.
Right.
That's what you should do. You should go over here and dare to be different, because if Michael tried to sound like Prince, we would have laughed at him.
Right.
If Prince would have tried to sound like Michael, we would have laughed at him.
True.
If Earth, Wind, and Fire tried to sound like the Commodores, we would have been like, what the hell is this? You know, because everybody had their own identity.
Maurice White myself, bro. Because
you know what I'm saying? You can't deny that. So at the end of the day, let's be real about it. The bottom line is we have a lot of people who are talentless calling the shots.
That's true.
And you know, let's be clear. Puffy had some bomb producers in there. He wasn't the greatest producer either.
Sure
he was
wasn't.
a businessman. He had Mario Winans, and Mario Winans would sit him down. You know, but there's a whole story to that too. But at the end of the day, I just think, you know, the talentless, non-caring people about music have kind of taken over because it's what's hot right now. It's what's trending right now. It's what's, you know, they, like was said, they can't create. They don't know how to go back, listen to a song and reprogram that song. And a lot of songs don't, I said it before, I say it again. A lot of songs don't need your help. Matter of fact, you're not helping it, you're hurting it.
That's the truth.
Because you keep trying to put your hand in this bowl.
Remix. Yep.
You know, that got all these ingredients to make up the greatest pie or greatest cake or whatever. And you add an A1 sauce. Like, what you doing? Like, you don't need that.
Add an A1 sauce to salad, bro.
Yeah. You putting lemon juice on Frosted Flakes. Like, what you doing? You don't go there. So yeah, it's one of them things. We gotta be careful. And Puffy, you know, at the end of the day, this is all I have to say. I hope he's learned his lesson, even if they say, yo, we're gonna let you out. I hope he learned his lesson. I hope he, you know, even with the abuse of the young lady in the hotel and that kind of thing, he didn't think he was gonna get caught. He just didn't think it was gonna happen to him. What I also know about people like that is you don't got people in your corner going, hey, bruh, that ain't the way to do this. Cut that out. Knock that off, bro. Come on, man. Nah, we ain't. Either you gonna get right or I'm gonna get left. Because we're not about to do that.
Right.
This ain't how you do that. You got too much money to be beating up on one when you can have anyone you want. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? There's women out here that would stay with you for less, you know, but you can't be treating them like that. You can't be treating them like that, you know. And my father said it best, even prostitutes have boundaries. You know, I mean, he
That's
said
good.
it.
That's good.
Listen, I don't know them personally, but I've heard stories, and there have been some prostitutes that said, unless they give me what I want, they're not gonna get what they need.
I ain't gonna do that.
I'm not, no, he not getting nothing from me. My price is such and such so. And if you can't handle my price, then you ain't getting what's nice.
Okay.
LDT, what's up, brother?
And that's exactly what that is.
Because I walked into the middle of a conversation that started out with the word prostitute, so I need a little clarity.
Little backstory. How you doing, LDT?
How you doing?
We was talking about Diddy, but we was talking about, I said, my father, God rest his soul, he said, even prostitutes have boundaries. And I said, yeah, price would be like, if he ain't paying my price, I'm not giving him what's nice.
All right. Then.
Listen, it's only funny because it's true. That's why it's funny.
So I'm told. I've not engaged the services of that particular.
We ain't gonna be scientific on here tonight. Just say that. I mean, stuff.
In all honesty, I ain't never had to pay for it, but that's anyway.
Listen. I was on the road one time, and one of the security guards had a girl up in his room. A friend of mine and I ain't saying no names. He called us to his room. We saw the young lady looking and said, "Oh, is this your friend?" He said, "Not really. You know, I paid for her friendship." I said, "You paid for it?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Hey, man, me and Young, I was about to say his name, Jesus." I said, "We got to go." We walked outside the door. I said, "I don't respect no nigga that got to pay for it, bro. Like, you paying for that?"
He said, "How deep is your love? You got to dig deep."
You're on the road, and you're road musicians. It's being thrown at you.
In some cases, but I'm like, I don't understand why you had to go and okay, well, yeah, all right, we can move on. I'm just saying, I ain't never had to.
Don't cost a thing, yeah, but booty do.
We're gonna be respectful about this conversation and this topic.
Yeah,
but I'm sure in your own way, you may have encountered those moments where if there was something that you felt you needed, it was available to you. I'm sure.
Yeah,
I will put it this way.
That's Miles said everything. You didn't have to say another word, daughter.
Yeah. I just feel like this. First of all, I ain't got to lie about it. Now, if I did it, I did it. If I didn't, I believe I didn't. But I do know that a lot of times it gets to a point where people are often just not being honest about how they feel about that stuff. Mm-hmm. And again, I say, I ain't paying for it. Now one would disagree and say, well, did you take her on a date? Or did you take her to the movies? Or did you take her to get ice cream? Did you take her to, okay, cool. Who paid for it? I did. Well, then you paid for it. No, here's the reality. The reality of it is not at all. The part is when that's the main objective. That's the first order of business. How much am I getting?
And then there's that
exchange.
Because this is a transactional situation. This is not just a relationship situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you're not going to get me to kowtow to that particular mentality. The bottom line is I am not going to put myself in that position where I have to go and dig in my pocket for you to come and hang out. I'm not doing that. First of all, if I got to pay for it, that means it's been purchased before. Never mind.
Right.
Because if you got a set fee, that means something else been going on before I got there.
You've been bought for a price.
And to your point, you don't know what boundaries though that the product has been subject to.
That's why you waking up in the middle of the night scratching your leg. Okay. Next.
Or develop that cough.
Yes, sir. Well, mine came from me having a cold. Now that's all I'm gonna say. I'm glad you said that. Let me put that disclaimer out. I had a little bit of cold.
That's your
and
story.
That was it.
Yes,
right. I'm good. I can take a test right now. I'll be just fine. Wait a minute. Wait, who that? Somebody else coughing.
No, I had COVID, bro. You know that.
COVID. We're calling it COVID.
That's the new name for it. COVID. Well, Brother Justin, Elder Terrence, y'all came on here and we talked about the Diddy situation. Does anybody have anything to say about that between you two?
Go ahead. You go ahead.
No, you can go first.
I'll say this, and I mean this as kindly as I can about it. I don't care. And when I say I don't care, it's not from a humanity point that I don't care about the situation. What I'm saying is I've got my own life. I've got my own issues and realities. I don't have time to invest myself in so much of what's going on with the young man. If he's guilty, then he should pay whatever price is attached to that guilt. If he's not guilty, the sad thing is, if it were determined that all of this was quite, exaggerated or whatever like that, the problem is the fact that he was accused, it will never leave him. It will be with him forever, because the world will say, okay, they may not have found him guilty, but I still believe, and that's just the, humanity. And so whatever successes that could have been a part of his future are all gone now. You know, he better hold on to and manage well what he has, because he ain't getting no more.
I
Because
believe
again,
that.
once you get that tarnish on you,
That name, yeah.
it's listen. I'll say this, you know, it's kind of, years ago, Kevin, you probably remember because you were around. You remember I worked at Head Start like your mom did at one point. Head Start. I was working in the classroom, and I can tell the story because nothing ever came of it. There was a situation where there was a one of the students. Now, mind you, these are 3 and 4-year-old children. There was a situation where a child had been examined, and they had determined that someone had violated this child. The mother immediately wanted to attach the crime on the only male in the classroom. Me.
And that was you. Right.
Exactly. Now, you know, I had to go through everything, you know, whatever was available at the time, you know, and thankfully, first of all, obviously it was, I don't pick unripe fruit. That's just not me. You know, but, you know, and thankfully, you know, it was proven quickly that, you know, I had absolutely zero to do with it. But you can imagine what that could have been like had that story really gotten out there.
Yeah.
You know, that could have been.
It would be on you now, like right now. Like
I still have mothers walking by holding their child, like, that's him. Yeah, no, it wasn't me. It was never me, dog.
Right.
You know, and again, and sadly, they found out that what it was the mother was a woman of a particular age. She had a younger boyfriend, and again, I'm not saying that. I'm sad for the scenario and the situation. However, you know, me, you know,
I just think I think with that being said, Justin, did you want to say something to that?
Nope. That to say, because first of all, I'm tired of, and not just for Puff, but the church. I'm just tired of people who will use their success to take advantage of people and do wrong. I'm glad he got caught. I agree with Terrence. I don't like the scenario, but you deserve to get everything you need to get, because these ain't no accusations, bro. You was doing this. What you doing with 1,000 bottles of baby oil? Like, my dude, like, for real, like, that's suspect all day. And let's be real, you've been suspect. You've been suspect from jump, especially for those of us. See, this is too close for home. Especially for those of us who know the scene and know the community and know the people.
Yep.
Like, nah, bro. You wouldn't catch me at no Diddy party. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Like you said, it's for a lot of us, especially, you know, those of us in the New York area and so like that. This is not a new story by any means, by any stretch of the.
It's becoming universal because he reached so many other people, and he got.
So no, I have nothing to say about it.
Your story may have just now caught up with you, but it's not.
Well, this is what I said earlier, that, you know, Puffy, like other people, he's addicted to never getting caught. So he thought his money and his power was going to keep him from, you know, even offering the judge $50 million to leave the jail. And the judge said, no. I know psychologically he was probably in that cell going, what?
They say he was allegedly on suicide
watch. Yeah, he was.
Alleged. That's fact.
And I want to see if they're going to pull his catalog like they pull R. Kelly.
And that's what
it's on the way. It's on. I'm gonna show you why they pulling it, but I'm gonna show you why they're pulling it. Because when Howard University gave him his $1 million back, he paid $1 million, and they gave him an honorary doctorate. They called his back. They turned around and gave his money back. Now, here's why I have a problem. But Temple University, y'all didn't give Bill Cosby his money back.
Not 1 red cent.
Y'all didn't give him nothing back. Y'all said, oh, we taking his pictures down and stuff, but we ain't giving his money back. Howard was like, yo, as important as it is for us to have this money to further education for people and pay dorm fees and help people to eat, help people to get books and all this. You know, that the bottom line was they took that honorary doctorate and said, you will not have any ties to us. Take your money. So now you got 50. You probably had 49 million, but Howard gave you that $1 million back.
But
You
They
want
said
you
we
want to
don't
know
want no
why,
part of it.
Kev? You know what? You want to know why I think? I think because we didn't cancel Bill Cosby.
Absolutely. That's right. That's right.
why
That's
should
right.
we?
Because Bill did,
And
the only thing Bill did, the only thing Bill Cosby did wrong was try to buy NBC. That's all he's guilty of.
Yeah.
all day.
If he wouldn't have
That's
did
all he's
that,
guilty of.
he wouldn't have been to jail.
First of all, I'm like, where are all these women coming from? Because here's the thing. If we pay close attention, why are these women still not trying to get him put back in jail after he went to jail? He got out on bail. They ain't had another trial for this man.
Yeah, some
Get out on bail. He's just out.
He's out
He was
right
in,
now.
that's what I'm
He's out.
saying.
You don't have to
So,
go
but-
on
I'm sorry.
bail. He just out.
But
If Bill Cosby invites you over for tea 7 times, and 7 times you woke up and didn't know what happened, but yeah, no, I'm sorry. That you knew what was happening.
yeah.
7 times.
that white lady that sent her white daughter up to his room at 18 years old, please tell me what the heck she was thinking.
Trying
Right.
to get a payday.
Tell me what she was thinking.
And
Tell-
another aspect, while it is, you might call it, you say tomato, the one glaring difference between Cosby, Combs, and R. Kelly was clearly dealing with minors.
Clearly.
Yes.
There's not
Yeah.
even there's nothing close with Cosby and with Combs so far.
No,
Allegations
Nope.
of dealing with people that are quote unquote.
Diddy was dealing with you heard what allegedly happened with Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber was 14.
That is true.
He got him drunk. He was in parties.
That will get him canceled more so than anything else, because it's the once you start dealing
Minor,
with
it's a minor, and then it's a white minor at that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This
But
ain't
then
no
what
black
bothers
boy.
me about that music, man, I'm gonna be real. When it comes to 90s R&B hip hop, yo, Bad Boy did some damage musically. And
Yeah.
for people that actually wrote the lyrics and the music to that, and Puffy's name is just on it, for them to get canceled, that ain't even fair, bro. Just because they're signed under Bad Boy.
It's not going to go against the label. It's going to go against Puffy himself, what he created. But here's the question you really need to ask yourself. You talk about the 90s and everything that Puffy did. Let's talk about the money that was backing him. That's the key you really want to get to. Think about who was backing him, because Puffy, and I'm saying this not in a derogatory way, he comes from nothing. So,
Right.
you know, somebody somewhere along the way had to put some money up to help.
Well, you got to think where
Well,
it came from.
let me tell you, but let me,
I'm not
okay.
saying he got his work ethic and all that stuff like that. But,
Yeah, but let me fix that up for you, man, because I was there for a little while.
that's why
The
I'm
bottom
saying.
line was Andre Harrell was the one that
I was just
helping.
about to say that, bro. I was just about to say
And
it.
what happened is, once Puffy got to a certain point, Andre Harrell said, yo, it can't be nobody bigger than me in this doggone situation, so people go. That's exactly what he said. So when that happened, Puffy had enough money, enough experience, enough business sense to say, okay, I'm gonna do my own thing. I will not sit on here. Clive Davis is another one. That's right. I heard stories about Clive Davis when I was hanging out with the boys over there.
They're true.
And I heard stories.
They're true.
But even with that being said, my reality is, at the end of the day, what you really got to pay attention to is that, listen, I don't care how big Bad Boy was. Bad Boy was. I don't care how big Arista was. I don't care. Y'all don't have the last say. Y'all don't have the last say.
Sure.
You know what's funny? Let me go back real quick. So there was a gospel label that I couldn't stand, but they were available, and they did albums on any and everybody, right? And at this time, I really couldn't
I'm
understand
laughing because I
exactly.
think I know who it is.
Oh, I'm sure you do. But anyway, they were doing a bunch of albums on people, and I kept saying, why is it that they keep doing albums on everybody? They got all these albums happening. but ain't nobody winning on these albums though. Like nobody's winning. I'm not talking about doing an album and doing popular songs. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not seeing no returns. I'm not seeing no Stellar Awards. I'm not seeing nothing coming from this. And the whole time, the record label was making money, but you know, so stupid. The record company was making money, but they weren't paying their artists the right way. They were not doing, and I kept saying, why is it that you guys are sitting up here and playing around and got these games going on and doing all this stuff, but y'all not like I'm not seeing no residuals. I'm not seeing nothing. Like, what's really going on here?
You're seeing it, you just see it was going into the artist's hands. Executive
no.
getting paid well.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. I know what I'm saying. I'm saying that it was all going to one person, and I'm sitting here like, but y'all falling into it. Like, and I remember, somebody got upset with me. They was like, Kevin, you didn't even give it a chance. You ain't. I'm like, yo, would y'all stop thinking that just because I'm young, I'm stupid? I'm looking at this.
You're not. My uncles were on that particular label that you're talking about. One played drums, one played bass.
Yeah. Okay. So I do know who you're talking about.
Okay. See?
So
you learn something new every day. I didn't
with
know
all that being said, the bottom line is with all of that was going on, I learned about the music business from the shady business that the gospel industry was doing. That's how I learned about it. I learned that these people writing songs on these big gospel albums, they're not getting the publishing like they're supposed to.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And depending on who you with, excuse me, they're not gonna calculate your stuff. When I learned about mechanical licensing, started really paying attention. I started learning about mechanical licensing, and then I started learning about residuals. I started learning about publishing. When I started learning about the market as it pertains to how to get your money in different countries. When I moved to Nashville. Nashville opened my head up and just started dumping information in it. And I said, but the artists that I know that are on these labels have never had these conversations. They've never had these conversations about publishing and, royalties and, points. And, we're just so happy to be on an album. They went home. Oh my God, the Lord is really moving in my life. He got me on these albums.
And some of the homes they went to was terrible.
Yeah. And I'm just like, when I looked at the contract for one specific person, I said, so really, this is nothing but a glorified concert.
That's it.
That's all this is. They just recording a concert and they're gonna put it on some board with these bad edits.
Yes.
With these bad slashes. And I remember I walked in one, there was a studio on East Orange. I walked in there and there was a man by the 2-inch tape, and he had more slashes in that tape than anything. And by the time I was done looking at it, they put that thing on a regular cassette. And I said, I could have had a blind dog come in here and slash that up better than what you just did. Mm-hmm. And then y'all put it out and said, this is our label. This is our new art with them cheesy ass photo shoots.
next to the water fountain.
Sitting by the church trash can where they having a barbecue at. You like this.
Pointing to the sky.
What is this?
Oh my Lord.
Olin Mills photo shoot.
Oh God. I couldn't believe it, man. And it ticked me off because I just kept saying, this is a very messed up industry. And the gospel music industry at the time was like a short percentage of what was really going on. But at the end of the freaking day, I kept saying, y'all want all this artistry and y'all want all this stuff, to happen within these albums. Terrence was with me. There was a couple of house tunes I did. And I went to West Caldwell, New Jersey. I'll never forget. I didn't even have a bass guitar with me. I was in the studio. The guy called me to come do this session. Me and Terrence went up there.
Yep.
And I didn't even have a bass guitar. They went and found a bass in the studio somewhere. It was a RC Rich bass, I think it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Took the bass, tuned it up. The strings was old and everything, man. I put my stuff on that sound because they had a synth, sound up there. They took it off. They put me on, and we were in. They had a SSL in the studio. This studio was bad.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
the studio
bad.
was top notch for its day. Absolutely.
Yeah, in that time, we talking about like early 90s. And that studio was killing. I put that track up there. I watched this man. He told me not to leave. Terrence and I was like, I'm done. Give my bread, I'm out. He told us not to leave. We watched that man mix this album. We watched him do it. It took him all of maybe, because there was very few instruments on there. But just the drum track.
So it was just,
And heavy tambourine, heavy bass, nice claps, bass guitar, and a keyboard with an organ. That's all that was on there.
That's what it was.
BC Rich, yeah. And I was like, it was a 4-string. I ain't played a 4-string. I don't know how long. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to play it. I did that song. I watched that man do it. When they put that song out, I couldn't believe the quality. I was like, no, why gospel music can't sound like that? Like, why are we supposed to, we're supposed to be the greatest music that's written. Why do we take a back seat every time we go to mix, we go to master? It sounds like Tuh-Rash, TUH hyphen rash.
Facts.
Oh Lord. Okay. Okay. Oh God. All right. I don't know what is going on here. Brent. What are you doing over there?
Brent, are you okay?
Hello, whores.
Like they told me in 4th grade, it takes one to know one. They told me that in 4th grade. In fourth grade.
That's how I pay my bills. It's just ass.
Oh,
Lord.
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, it's a party now.
He has arrived.
Yeah, I just think that I'm gonna move to the next subject, but I think that it's hard to do. But I think that we a lot of gospel back in the day suffered because we just didn't give it the same power that we gave R&B. I remember Terrence and I, again, we went to a guy's house in New York, in Harlem, and he had a studio in his apartment.
It was amazing.
And I couldn't believe all this stuff this man had. I was like, God, this nigga living in. Were we in Harlem? No.
Yes.
Oh, it was Harlem. It was Harlem.
St.
And
Nicholas.
we went in there. St. Nicholas Avenue.
139.
We up in there, and this man, Teddy Riley had just left there, like before we got there. That's how dope his house was. And it was an apartment. It wasn't no big, huge, whatever. But he had a whole wall of computers. The instruments, keyboards, all this stuff. And I said, Dag, if Teddy Riley was up in here, that mean this man really know, because Teddy ain't gonna be in no random apartment like that,
Dude, you remember, like, I played a particular chord on one part, and he listened to the playback. He said, your finger missed a note right there. And he literally went in the computer and just started moving these, and all of a sudden, it sounded just like, okay, yeah, that's what I meant in my head.
Like you meant to do it. And I think that the thing about it was, again, it was just so much power that we put into it. But I'm gonna tell you, that slimy, greasy record label I'm talking about, they were the pits. They a lot of the home, the what do you call them? I saw that already. Okay. When you saw the their roster of musicians that they use, it was just like.
Well, one musician was very well paid. One particular one.
Yeah, he was, but at the end of the day, it was like, but we listened. Okay, so let me leave it alone because I'm getting ready to go somewhere else. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, let it go.
It is, I
don't really need.
I guess I still need to be healed from it because that record label pissed me off. But actually, Brent's father played on a couple of albums too. Now that I think about it.
But we're not mentioning the name of the label, Brent.
They had some
Right, right.
his
Okay,
they
I'm just
said
putting that out there. We're not mentioning the name of the lady.
they had his bass sounding like you put rubber bands on a piece of steel too. Like I couldn't understand that. I was like, how do y'all miss this?
Everybody
Man.
instruments like that on that label.
Except one part. I'm gonna shut up now. We're gonna move on. All right. So here we are. I want to hit this and quit it. I'm gonna bring Jaguar right up later. I'm not gonna bring her up right now. I want to move on from that. Can we talk about Sister Kim Burrell for one
Do
second?
we have to?
I
Um,
knew it was
We
coming.
have to.
I kind of. Now, here's the thing. I was gonna bring him on tonight. I don't know where he is. If he shows up later, that's fine. I was gonna have Glenn on, but I don't know where he is right now. He might show up
Yeah,
later.
he played in that thing, right?
Yes, he was the actual guy that was playing. Um, and I would like to bring him on, but Brent, you just got here. I'm gonna let you.
What's up,
You know,
Prophet?
uh, I'm gonna let you have your moment because you look like you're ready to have the moment. I just want to first of
He
all
looked
let
like
me hit.
he coming from a moment.
I want to talk about first of all, Justin. What church was she at when this happened?
That was some quartet thing that was happening here. I don't know if I think it might have been in Harlem or
It looks
Brooklyn.
like it
I
was in
think
the Bronx somewhere. That's what it looked like.
yeah, it was in one of the
It-
boroughs, but
yeah.
he was
Okay.
it was
All
definitely
right.
here in New York.
All right. Yeah.
She was singing at a quartet concert.
They had her there.
Well,
I don't know why.
it was a big. They had Bree Holly. They had oh my God,
Well, Bree is a
Rogers.
quartet singer. I mean, I
They had
know her
Rogers. They
peoples.
had some local artists. They had it was a happy mix of stuff, but it was mainly a quartet joint, from what I understand.
So my question is, with it being a mixture, I mean, whoever paid, that's where she went. Okay, y'all had the money, y'all took care of the business. Okay. Um, I had the honor of playing on a couple of Kim's albums. So when I speak this, I'm not coming from a disrespectful standpoint, but I do want to hit one area. But I'm gonna let Brent deal with this once I say it. She is from the Church of God in Christ. We know that. Born and raised. I mean, it's all in her blood. We get that. With that being said, I saw her outfit and I said, now that's not the Kim I know. Kim wouldn't wear that to church. Now I know she wouldn't wear that to church. Now I know she wouldn't wear that to church. But yeah, go ahead, Brent. I'm gonna let you go ahead because I have a couple of questions, but go ahead. And I'm not judging. I'm just saying that something didn't look right to me because I know Kim. She doesn't normally do things like that. I do know. But I could be wrong. So Brent, go ahead, man. If you can elaborate.
You would wait to talk about this when I get on. Jesus Christ.
Well,
Some
Okay.
moments are made for you, sir.
Huh?
some
Some
moments are made for you.
Dave, just for
They
you.
just
Okay, so here goes. Um, Outfit choice. I definitely think that it could have been a different outfit choice.
okay.
Um, I don't think the outfit would be deemed appropriate for inside of a church. Now, maybe if it was an outside festival or, something in a different arena, then okay, cool, maybe. I think my problem was it looked like maybe it was something that she wore to sound check and didn't have enough time to
Yeah, right,
change.
right,
Yeah,
right,
I,
right, right.
Um, and so because having dressed her several times, I know what she is what her insecurities are and what she likes to accentuate and what she does not like to accentuate. But then, too, we are also dealing with a couple of different things. Sometimes when people lose a massive amount of weight, they then are excited that they can get into things now that maybe they possibly could not have gotten into before, but they've always wanted to.
Yes.
And so you have that. So anytime a woman who used to be a plus size woman loses a massive amount of weight, then you have what they call reclaiming their time. So they're going to wear all of the things that they could not wear when they were a bigger woman now because they can shop in regular stores such as you and I, right? Um, so yeah, that was that. I personally did not necessarily care for the outfit, but I'm no longer on the team in that aspect as far as dressing her. And you can tell the difference when she has a stylist and then when it's her doing it herself. Her personality is she really don't care about all that stuff. Um, so that's that. Now let's get to the performance. When it comes down to, I think she's in a position to where no matter what she says, no matter what she does, people are going to be offended by it. Now, here's the thing: we can forgive everybody else, and we can forget everything else and put everything in the past. But she seems to be someone that we are the church that we want to keep in a chokehold based off of previous experiences. Whether no matter all of her attempts that she's tried to right her wrongs, we are going to the church keep her in you don't deserve forgiveness spot. Now you can forgive everybody else. You can forgive that lying ass scammer that you've been under for your whole life as a pastor. You can forgive him, and he done raped half the church, got most of the members pregnant. Has done all the other things. You are still with a spouse or a significant other who is beating your brains out physically. You can forgive them. You can even forgive the people that have raped and molested you. You can forget the people. You can forgive the people that has done you wrong or has scammed you or has stolen from you or has robbed you or has done a whole bunch of other things. It's easy for you to forgive them and let it go and let bygones be bygones. But I think it's very interesting of how we will not, the church or people will not let her just enjoy the moment for whatever the reason it is, whatever the reason may be. She done came out and apologized. She done came out and tried to do better. And no matter how nice she tries to say things, people just don't want to let up on it. I don't know, for whatever reason that may be. That's neither here nor there. I don't think that what she said and how she handled the situation was wrong because me, as a same gender loving male, I have sat in churches where people have dogged my kind to the point of no return. And they don't even have the coof to apologize for some of the derogatory things that they have said and that they have done. When most of the time, the reason why we like a certain thing is because you were the one that turned us out. So here it is. We are in a space. No, not a lot of people personally know her, personally knows her heart, or personally knows her character and or her humor. And so now everything that she does, everything, no matter what attempt she tries to make, somebody's going to be offended or there's going to be offense. But I think it's very interesting how we're willing to let everybody else go but her. Honestly, in that setting, I think whoever I'm not even necessarily upset with Kim. I never was upset with her because I think, yeah, it was the moment of where she's trying to minister to you, and there is somebody that is a being a distraction. You're sitting on the front row trying to oversing her. Number one, that is against concert etiquette. Number one. And Kim is a person who has sensitive ears. She can hear everything. And so if you are being obnoxiously loud, um, and it's distracting what she is prophetically and musically hearing, and it's clashing. You're trying to throw her off. Also, her mission is to minister. That's why they brought her there, and she was trying to minister in that moment. And we've all been in settings where when we are really trying to get a breakthrough, or we're really trying to get a word, and someone is being a distraction, and it takes us away from that moment. Um, could it have been said a different way? No. Because first of all, I think that in this church culture, it's a bunch of bitches with position. Everybody is so soft skinned. Everybody is so thin skinned. Everybody's so timid. Everybody's so whatever. But these are the same people that are mean girls in their own lives.
That's good.
Um,
That's
and
good.
so we all need to grow up. She said, be quiet. And she didn't, she said it as nicely as she most possibly could have. Now, the person that I'm really aggravated at is the bitch that recorded it and you posted it.
Mhm. Mhm.
So here we are again, someone that has a motive
Yeah.
and trying to tear another person down. Because if that was not your intent, this video would have been taken down immediately, and or it would not have been posted, and it would not have been viral. And now she would not be another subject of something that really is irrelevant and that anybody would have done. Hell, even at Janet Jackson concert, she smelled people smoking and whatever. She's like, "Ooh, some y'all smoking in here." She addressed it and
Right.
kept it moving on. Kim addressed the situation and kept going on. And she said it extremely political, nice, and it was within love. She said, listen, I'll come back to where you all can join in. But right now, I'm trying to convey this message. I'm trying to minister this message right now. So just let me have this moment right now. We don't. A lot of times, the reason why we don't know what the word says is because we loud when the word is going forth.
Mhm.
That's
And that's why we
good.
can't apply it in our own life. And you don't know why Jesus wept. You just heard the scripture and you go with it. But if you take the time to shut up and just enjoy the moment, then maybe you too can get something out of it. I also think that what we need to do is we need to go back to no recording in church, period.
I
No video
agree.
recording. Because at the end of the day, we're so busy trying to capture a moment that is being streamed until
Mhm.
there is no
We missed
breakthrough,
the
there is no deliverance.
experience.
Because
Yeah.
the whole time you here with a phone, why the fuck are you recording something that's being streamed? Why?
Yeah.
Why? Why? That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. This is being streamed. It is being recorded. And your dumb ass is sitting there with your phone recording. If
Hmm.
that moment is so special, go back to the social media or the streaming platforms and get it yourself and rewatch it and then let it minister to you. But I feel like there will never be healing and deliverance and breakthrough in church until we put the goddamn phones down.
I agree, bro. I agree with you.
We
I
can't even
totally
get
agree.
healing. We can't even, Jesus can't come in because you got a phone. Because
Hmm.
the very next day, that same week, somebody else went viral of a pastor at altar call put his finger, his hand
Yes.
In
in a
somebody's
grown
mouth.
man's mouth. Now, first
Yes.
of all, I'm not gonna have no nigga put their finger or their hand in my mouth unless we about to get to work. You understand what I'm saying? However, here was a moment where he was trying to orchestrate deliverance, however, God was using him, and now he's viral. It was an innocent moment, it was a sacred moment, it was a moment that should have never been televised. But now his good has been evil spoken of. Same thing with Kim. Your good has been evil spoken of. So no matter where you go, no matter what you do, people are going to have a problem. And here's my thing: if you got a problem with somebody, then don't go to support them. You know that you knew who was going to be on the program. So I have no issue with Kim. I have no issue with the situation. I have a problem with the bitch that recorded it and posted it because you're trying to be funny and you the one that needs your ass whooped. You the one. Because you're trying to tear down somebody else's. Because what you should have done is completely destroyed the whole video. Or you should have never posted it. You knew what you caught on camera before you posted it.
Yeah.
Even if you were live. Even if you were
See,
live.
here's what I know
So
about people like that. When you're broken, you do stuff like that. Now, I will tell
I
you the
could.
truth.
I want to join back. I want to go back to the situation that happened with get these microphone right. And the point is the Brent. I agree with you on a lot of levels. Let's take it away from Kim. It's only in church where people want to sing along, loud, disrupt. That's not proper etiquette. My wife and I went to a Broadway show. You could hear a pin drop. You better not say something. They're gonna come. It's just not proper etiquette. And then when you're talking about being ministered to, like I agree, like shut your mouth and let God speak to you. That's part of the problem in communication. You can't hear if you're talking while I'm talking. If I'm teaching parts, you can't hear the part if you're singing the wrong part while I'm trying to give you the right part. You
Yeah.
gotta be silent to listen and to hear. I agree. I just feel like it's only in church where we have to deal with bad sound and not say nothing to people. We got to deal with bad instruments and not say nothing to people. We got to deal with people singing along and screaming and clapping off beat and not say nothing. And then if we say something, we're all full of the devil. Like that's not. I don't agree with that at all because similar to what you were saying earlier, Kev, about the production of gospel music. It's always us. And I think
Always.
it's unfair. I think it's unfair as somebody who loves gospel music and has dedicated the majority of my musical career to playing gospel music that we always got to compromise. And it's not fair. When I play for the wedding band, it's loud, it's everything, it's great. I play for church. Your bass is too loud. Like, wait, what, bro? Like, are you crazy? The
I
mix,
dealt
the
with
mix.
that my
Like,
whole life,
I
bro.
don't, I don't. You know
Same.
what I'm saying?
I
I just don't. I think it's unfair that it's always in the church
The black
that
church.
it's always in the black church where we get the short end of the stick and we gotta sing uncomfortable, we gotta minister uncomfortable. If I'm preaching and you talking on top of me, I'm gonna tell you to shut up. And if like what you want me to do, it's impossible. You don't know what
Yeah.
I'm saying. You don't know what God told me. You can think you know all the scripture in the world, but you don't know what direction I'm going in, and it's not your turn to speak. So
And
be
I'm
quiet until I tell you to talk to your neighbor. Then you can preach all you want.
I'm gonna be real, bro, and I'm gonna piggyback what you said. This is why I have a problem a lot of times when it comes to being prophesied and people being prophesied in church, because they're so busy being caught up in the spirit that they miss exactly what the prophet is trying to say to them. They all caught up. I don't know what he said, but I just felt the Holy Ghost feel it, and it's like, well, my thing is that you missed the moment. Your point at that moment you're supposed to listen to what God is saying through this prophet, and you too busy getting caught up in the spirit because the very first thing he tells you in your ear is you're about to be a millionaire.
Right.
And that's the same thing in every situation. It's like you got to be able. That's why the scripture always says, "Let he that has an ear." You got to hear. You got to hear. Stop talking so much.
yeah.
You have two of these and one of these.
Yeah.
So here's what I know. We do what we're taught. Period. We're doing what we're taught, and we're also doing what we are seeing. We're seeing it, so we're doing it. The reality of it is that now that we've gotten to this point, we understand where people are doing things out of context. Let's be very clear. First of all, it is a learned and adopted behavior. We've adapted to this mentality and said that's the right thing to do. I've heard sayings like "it's tight, but right." That's not something you say in church. But what it is that people have no home training. I want to be clear with you. There's just certain things I just don't do in the church. It's just certain things I don't do. I just don't do them. And it's not coming from, this whole notion that, I'm afraid of God gonna strike me down and all sorts of. It's just out of respect.
Reverence.
I hated to take my hat off in church, but I knew I better do it. After a while, I'm like, you know what? I ain't even wearing no hat. That way I ain't got to worry about taking it off. Somebody coming behind me, tell me, take your hat off or whatever. I'm not doing it. There's just certain things I won't say in church. There's certain things I'm just not going to do. I didn't say I was perfect. I'm just saying that because of what I was taught. Here's the reality. The reality is, especially what I was doing for the last year and the 3 months, the audience sang our stuff. They sang it. It was to be expected at a Frankie Beverly concert. It's to be expected. We would think something's wrong if you're not singing. We would think something's wrong. But when it comes to the church, which there was only about maybe 3.8% of the people in that church that's at a regular Frankie Beverly concert, you're right there in front of Kim. I understand that you want to sing the song. The song is beautiful. It's a beautiful song, and people that know it sing it. but you gotta be respectful of the fact that she's singing. It don't mean you can't sing, and it doesn't mean you shouldn't. But don't be disruptive. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to be disruptive. And a lot of times, the loudest one is the room is the one that ain't got no money.
And that's another.
So I could tell
Yeah.
that you just trying to be seen because you got, like you said, Brent, they wanted to be the one. Listen, some people don't care nothing about how bad news feels. They just want to be the first ones to say that they did it. They said it. I'm the one
Fact.
that posted it. I'm the
That's
one that put it out. It came from me. They don't care who it hurts. They don't care who it hinders. They don't care who it hits. They don't care. And as a result of that, when you get tired of living like that, then you get to a point where I'm not afraid to tell the truth about this. The bottom line is that when you are disruptive, this is what happens. And like Justin said, nowadays people so soft you can't tell them nothing. you know uh uh you know it was like back in the day they would tell you not to chew gum in church. I remember there was a guy named Deacon Smith. He would see me and Ray Simon and all of us. He would see us chewing gum, and he would leave that front offering table and walk right across that altar. He didn't care what was going on, and he would have a paper bag or a piece of tissue and put it right up to your chin. He didn't care but there was a time when people would tell me, so you have to remove your gum. I got an attitude. I'm like, why? They weren't trying to be nasty. They were just saying, this is the way we reverence God in this church. We don't chew gum. And there was nothing wrong with it. Now, I will be honest, how they said it pretty much settled how it was going to turn out.
Yeah.
If you had came and said, sir, could you please remove the gum? We don't eat it. They wasn't saying, this is what I know. I'll say to you, Avery, can you do me a favor, sir? How you doing? Listen, can you remove the gum? Because we don't eat gum in church, and I don't want nobody, come say up to. You're not listening to what I said. You're hearing, you know what you're hearing? Hey man, take that gum out your mouth.
Yeah.
Hey, take that gum out your mouth. Yo, we don't eat in church like that. Yo, you need to know better. That's what you're hearing. That's not what I said. So when I did some soul searching in Kevin, I was like, what do you hear when they say that to you?
What
Now look at what
you hear.
Yeah. So
what do you
when
hear? Not what did I say?
Right.
What did you hear?
How do
Because
you
there's two
interpret
different things.
Yeah.
So when you hear it, so when you get to what
Holy.
you're hearing, now you got to go deeper and say, now, what's triggering me to feel that they are saying this when they didn't even say it? And the answer is there's something in you that's broken that makes you feel like they're personally attacking you.
Attacking. Yep.
They're not attacking me. All they said was, can you please remove the gum because in the sanctuary we don't eat? And all I could have said was, oh, okay, that's fine. Do you have a gum? I got a piece of tissue right here. You good. You good. Thank you so much. And you don't even know, you could have created a whole friend right there.
Mm-hmm.
But because you are so messed up internally, you are hearing something that's not being said. And so I don't know where he is. So with that being said, when you get to a point where you understand the concept in which this says, you have to not always go about what you think they're saying. Listen to what they're saying. If you listen to what they're saying, then you'll know exactly what's going on, and what you're hearing is not what they're saying. That's not what they're saying.
I'm gonna tell you what recently, a revelation that I had recently. I was, sometimes I'm real saved. And some days I go days without eating because I'm trying to get an answer. What was revealed to me in one of my times of stealing away is that what we are experiencing now in today's church culture is that there has been another portal of hell that has been opened. And we are now experiencing demons and spirits that has been released in the earth realm that we've never had to deal with before in our generation. Now, the Bible says that there's nothing new under the sun, right? So the things that we are dealing with now, the things that we're seeing, they were all going on in the biblical times, whether it was recorded and or not. It was going on because there's nothing new under the sun. What happened is that the portal was shut because it took a sacrifice to close that portal. But now what has happened is there was a sacrifice that reopened the portal. And so now we're dealing with spirits, we're dealing with demonic forces, and we're dealing with another portal of hell that we've never seen before. So that is why it seems as if everything is going haywire and nothing is making sense. Only those that can see and are sensitive enough to hear and are wise enough to comprehend are going to be the ones to overcome and to not be tricked by what is really happening,
Mm-hmm.
right? But because we are because we are in a phase now of where we want fame more than we want God, it's going to take another 100 years for us to get back to a place of recompense.
It's true.
It's going to take another 100 years before we get back to a place of total serenity and where our focus is back on the things of God, right? So that is why so many things are going viral now, because the aim and the intent and the mission is for self-acclaim, it is for self-glory, and we are literally in a reprobated generation
Yep.
of where people think, well, let's go back to what reprobation is, where God has literally turned you over to yourself
To yourself, and you
and
think you're right in everything.
he
That's
has
right.
removed himself from
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Why are we now, why does it seem like an anomaly when we see people get healed from diseases or come into church in a wheelchair and
'Cause we're not
leave
used
walking
to it.
out?
We're
Why
not
are we
used to it.
surprised by that now?
Yeah.
It's the
We're
same
not used
God,
to it. Yeah. We're not used to
but
it.
only those that really embody, embrace, know, and really take and spend time with God are the ones that can really see and feel what's really going on. And what it is I wouldn't be surprised if the Lord cracked the sky in another 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's crazy, bro? Is that the Bible study that my pastor have us on nowadays, we're doing a series of the seven churches in Revelation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're living in. Because if you think about the seven churches, only two of the seven churches did not get rebuked.
That leaves five.
Exactly. And one of those churches was rebuked for idolatry. And going back to what you were saying in regards to this generation in the church, I really feel like the spirit of Lucifer is hovering over the church right now. And what I mean by that is everything is, like you said, it's about self. It's about I need to get the glory, I need to get the fame, I need to get the this, the that, the this. It's all about us, and the glory of God is sad. And I don't care if anybody agree with me or not. I really feel like the glory of God has left the church.
It has.
Well, this is the reason why gospel music is the way it is, because, back in the day, I just believe that gospel music back in the day, and not with that sorry ass label, but my point is, I believe gospel music back in the day, these people that were writing back in those days, they came from relationships. They came
Secret
from
closet.
studying God. They came from, and it wasn't just legalism. They weren't just legalists. They were people who really spent time. Chris hasn't been on here in a while, but he did say something. I remember he said, "Does God have His hand and his heart of understanding of who He is? Does He have it on, certain people a little bit more than the other ones?" And I'm gonna be honest with you. I just believe that there was something about them that you could not deny the power thereof. Like you couldn't. You could not. I'm being real. I don't need nobody to side with me. This is the reality. But you could not tell me that Thomas Whitfield, Walter Hawkins, and Edwin Hawkins, and Danny Bell Hall, Andre Crouch, and Gabriel Hardiman. What's this other guy? Benny Cummings, and all those people that we heard back in the day. All those church Myrna Summers. All those people that we heard back in the day. You could not tell me that they didn't have a real relationship with God, like they did, because
why? Because their hands was clean and their heart was pure.
You can't. And here's the thing about that. We had our own assumptions of what we thought they were doing.
Right.
We had our own
Nothing
assumptions
was
of what we
confirmed.
thought that were. But what we thought they were doing and the power that they had to change your life through a song was two totally different things.
Sure was.
Yeah.
Sure.
And all I'm saying
because
is
gifts
that,
comes without repentance.
see, but people
What's
don't
it called,
understand
right?
that scripture, God. Scott, they don't understand that scripture.
I
And
know they
keep
don't.
telling
I don't.
people,
Good evening, everybody.
the people do not understand that scripture simply means that God does not have to repent to man
He doesn't
while
have
he
to repent to
gave
man.
you the gift. He
That's
does
it.
not have to. So
That's
when
it.
you say that, people thought gifts coming out of repentance mean I could have a gift and I could do whatever I want to do. God's still gonna let me have a gift. That's not what it means. And so because of that, when you really get down to the brass tacks of it, back in the day, they came with a reverence for God. That's why the gospel was different. These days, I'm gonna
But
tell
you can
you
also
now.
tell that they studied, bro. They studied
That's my heart.
the
Listen, that's my
word.
heart.
Let's
Listen,
just say
listen.
one of the most-
You could not sit up there and talk to me about Walter Hawkins and tell me that man did not have some kind of relationship with God. There's
Right.
no way you could tell me that. There's no way you could tell me that Thomas Whitfield could sit up there and come up with a song like "The Grass Withereth." That's not even a title.
Right. That's Bible, bro.
That's scripture. Straight up.
Right.
Straight up
That's,
scripture.
he didn't come up. Walter and them always had titles. When Daryl Coley did Second Chronicles, I thought I was gonna lose my doggone mind. I couldn't.
Can I be
believe
honest
it.
with you though?
He didn't rhyme.
Even
Hold
going-
on, Scott. He didn't rhyme. He didn't put no songs that no words was joining together. He didn't rhyme and nothing. They were coming straight from the Bible, and you could not deny it because of where it came from.
Bro.
I couldn't understand it. I'm like, the grass withereth. That's not commercial at all. And you know what? Back in them days, they didn't care about commercialism.
No, they did
They
not.
didn't care about likes and hearts. They didn't care about, how many views you're gonna get and all this other stuff. They didn't get none of that. All they was worried about, that they didn't care. All they worried about was getting that word out of there. That's all they cared.
One of the
Go ahead,
reasons.
Scott. Go ahead,
I'm
Scott.
sorry. Go
Hold
ahead,
on,
Scott.
Avery. Let Scott go ahead real quick.
Hey y'all. So going back to what you were talking about, because I heard what y'all were talking about when I jumped in. My thing about, and yeah, the Luciferian spirit, all of that, I do believe all of that is quite prevalent in today's church and music sector. My issue with her was, and Kevin, I heard what you were saying before about how people were singing with Frankie Beverly and Maze, and when we go to Stevie concerts and all that stuff, we all sing. However, the artists also understand that I'm only here and I'm only who I am because of who's out here to see me. So there's a certain way that I need to deal with this, because now I'm looking at it from a business perspective. This is my clientele. So and secondly, that was a church. That's actually the church where we did one of the Gospel Fest shows this year in Brooklyn.
That was Cornerstone?
That was Cornerstone.
Oh, okay.
You got to be very careful how you deal with the people of God, especially in the house of God. And I did not appreciate, even there's a way to say, okay, y'all, because I get like that too sometimes. If I'm singing, I don't want people singing over me if I'm ministering to people. But at the same time, who am I to say that in my ministering to people, that them ministering along with me is not ministering to somebody else that's sitting right next to them? So we got to be real careful. It's a fine line to deal with. And again, I know we look at it from the standpoint of she's up there to do a performance. That she is. But when you're in the house of God, performance, while all we do is performance, but there's got to be a certain amount of reverence. And she could have said, all right, y'all, I'm going to let y'all sing in the next round. Let me get one round. But to say, y'all want me to get in trouble because y'all just want me to say, let that mask work for you. Why did you have to go into all of that?
But see,
that nastiness dilutes everything else that she was gonna say.
my issue with that is, and I mean, at the end of the day, it was a solo. I mean, that's how I look at it. And my thing is, even though I might sing, you got to know Kimber. We talking about Kim Burrell, and what I mean by knowing who she is, she does a lot of riffs and runs in her song.
For sure.
So if you're singing with her, you could easily not sing the song because she's not really singing the song traditionally. And especially if you're in the front, I think Brent said it, because she has a sensitive ear, anything can throw her off. I'm not saying what she did was right. I'm not saying what she did was wrong. But at the end of the day, I'm saying, yo, you brought me here to do a solo. Now, if it was a choir song and you want to sing with the choir, I get it. But because it was a solo, go ahead. I'm sorry. I mean, that's just my input.
I just wanted to say,
I mean, I get it. I get it. Go ahead, Terrence. I'm sorry.
I just want to say two things about it. First thing is, I was a little taken aback by her being so sensitive about it when she's reading the words from her phone.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Because if you're really ministering, you've taken the time to learn the song to minister to people. Period.
The other side of that is that because Kim has already found herself in a precarious situation similar to this, I would have expected her to be that much more sensitive in how she responded. For me, you know, I just it was expected behavior because that's who she is. Now, again, whether people think she's right, whether people think she's wrong, I will leave that to people individually to, you know, kind of, you know, digest that part of it. But it's one time is an anomaly. Two times is possibly, you know, something concerning. Once you do it 3 or 4 times, that's a pattern, and it speaks to who you are. And I think that as a minister, there's a lot of times in ministry, and I learned this from my pastor, your grandfather Avery, that a lot of times in ministry there are things that you would probably be right to say. You would be absolutely within your right to say, but you can't say it. Sometimes you have to be able to govern yourself and know that I just can't. Something I saw earlier this week spoke to something about this. It says sometimes it's not so much what you say, but the tone in which you say something that can make all the difference in the world. And I think that with Kim, I'm not sure if her tone was really expressive or connecting to the words that necessarily that she said.
So can I ask you a question, Terrence? You being an elder, let's just say you getting up and you singing a song, right? You singing a song, I'm on the organ. Let's say you singing it in A flat. All right. Kevin comes on the keyboard and he plays it not in A flat, the same exact song. He's playing it in E flat. 2 different keys. You singing in the correct key of A flat, and now you're hearing E flat in your ear. What would you say?
I would tell the young man that was in the wrong key, I said, God bless you, brother. Just hold on just a moment. I wouldn't embarrass him. I wouldn't try to say anything to harm him, because, you know, some people have limits, and you know,
I honestly think though this time I can't speak for the first time, but this time I don't really think she said anything to be damaging to the person that was singing. You know, she didn't say, "Oh, you are off. Please stop singing." She didn't say that. She was like, "Wait a minute." She made a joke of it. You're trying to get me in trouble. It was, you know, although she was serious, it was a joke.
But again, because of the first
she was serious about it.
But because of the way she handled it the first time, I think it's hard for people to move past that. Again, I'm not trying to really establish.
That's what Brent said earlier. That's what Brent said earlier, though. That is what he said earlier.
But let's not even get with that, because I can get past a mistake. Everybody makes a mistake. And like I said, had she just stopped and said, "All right, y'all, I know you want to sing this with me. Let me just sing it one time through, and then we come back." Fine. But the moment that you keep going on with it shows a spirit of nastiness that I just can't look past. If she had just said, That we'd have been okay. But then y'all just want me to get in trouble for saying let the mask work for you. And I want y'all to come and sing with me. And then when we come back around, y'all you get your part. You can find your part. I mean, know your part. And you don't have to say all of that.
Mhm.
Sometimes saying too much is too much. Shut up. Period. Just shut up. And I'll give an example. Avery, again, looking at me, ordained preacher. I had to sing at my church 2 weeks ago. And I'm singing, and it happened to be a hymn that a lot of people knew. And there were visitors that also are from the Church of God, and they happen to know it too. And they're singing, not singing it necessarily the same way that I was. So I kept singing, and certain little nuances that I put in the song, they could tell what I was doing. And so one by one, people stopped singing. That was all I had to do. I didn't say anything because one, I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Two, I didn't need to destroy what was going on with the song because the song was ministering to the church. And the mere fact, if I had said anything at that point, again, and this was what somebody talked about before, being sensitive to the spirit. There's so many people that are no longer sensitive to the spirit because they're so stuck in self. And
Right.
that's where you, like I said, it's a fine line. And yeah, we want things to be perfect, but nobody's perfect but Jesus Christ. And none of us are him. So while we strive for perfection, all we can do is give it an excellence. And sometimes give it an excellence means that we got to shut up too.
Well, here's where I am with it. I think what you guys were saying is what Brent was saying earlier. Like the church has become it's a place where people try to be stars. Let me just put it that
Right.
way. And it's a place where people try to be seen. And as was said by Avery earlier, there's a heavy level of spiritual. There's what Brent said it too. There's a demonic situation going on where people are wanting to be seen and recognized or whatever. Scott, I don't know if you heard this part, but Brent said what he had a problem with also is a problem that you would have never known to had the person not put the video up. There's somebody who wanted to ostracize pretty much the image of him and say, okay, we're going to put this up because just a few months ago or last year, whenever it was, when she told that lady, stop singing, I'm doing this by myself. I'll call you. When I get to that part, I'll call you. And there was all this stuff. Here's what I have to say to this.
That was the other thing I was going to say. I didn't realize that Brent said it already. But yeah, I agree with that.
There's a level of understanding, and we're gonna move on from here because there's another thing I need to hear from y'all. The reality of it is that what I know in churches, people have become soft to criticism, and they have become hard in narcissism.
That's good.
So when it comes to criticism, you don't hear nothing. They don't want to hear nothing. They don't want to talk about nothing. They don't want to see nothing. They don't want to witness nothing. They don't want you coming to them telling them nothing. But the moment that you are seen and somebody says, oh, you look good, or this is going on for you, or you have this, or now all of a sudden that's the best church since, Jesus was crucified.
Sliced bread.
And the problem that I have with that is that all of it's crazy because I don't come from that era. I come from an era. I'm from the Apostolic Church. I don't mind saying it, but we come from that area where women didn't even wear pants in church.
That's right.
Women didn't wear certain makeup in church.
Or pair caps.
But now let me say this. But we couldn't do that. We had to be careful. Ladies wear makeup a whole lot of time. A lot of women needed makeup. But let me shut up. But we couldn't. They couldn't wear makeup. Guys. There was certain. We couldn't wear hats. We had to be around certain things, and we had to treat the church a certain way. But let me say this: while everybody was trying to look holy, I found out that the church that I grew up in was a freaking cesspool. Because everybody was sleeping with everybody in there. The dresses were easy access to the vaginas. I mean, let's be real. Everybody was sleeping with everybody. We all look holy, and the ladies wearing stockings with the socks on and the white skips, and I get that. But one guy had 3 of y'all at one time during the week. So what we have to understand is we have to be very careful with the fact on how we look at people, thinking that you're holy because you're wearing a certain thing, but what you're really hiding is something else. Now, what the church also cannot stand is when people are real and honest about who and where they are. They cannot stand.
You're talking right, Kevin.
Because anytime somebody is real about who they are, you don't have room to judge them.
That's right.
You don't have room to sit up here and call them out and say certain things, because when a person has already come to grips and knowledge of themselves in a certain situation and you can't say anything about them, what I do know about certain folk is they will start to conjure up something else.
Yeah.
Because what they don't want is for you to turn that bright light on their stuff and now you look at them. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be very careful with how we look at people. And that comes from humility within itself, because I understand there were a lot of people that used to laugh at me when I was coming up. Oh, that kid can't play. Oh, he can't do this. He can't do that. You know, and if I had been so gung-ho about focusing on what you said about me, I would not be who I am.
That's right.
So what the church taught me what to do was they taught me what not to do. They didn't just teach me how to do it. They taught me what not to do. They taught me what not to say. They taught me how not. I remember I was playing for one choir in particular, and you know, I had never slept with nobody in that choir. I had never slept with nobody in that choir. I had never slept with nobody in that choir. And next thing I knew, I'm hearing rumors about who they thought I slept with. So when I get on the bus and I got the young lady's hand and they tapping each other, oh, look, they holding hands or whatever, I stopped right in the middle of the bus and said, why y'all talking? I'm just giving you what you want. Either way it goes, they ain't never satisfied. Because
Never
what they did was
satisfied.
they literally sat there and said, oh, shoot. Yeah, it's what we thought. Now we got to make something else up, because now they hold their hands. I had never slept with this lady, ever. To this day, I never slept with her. But because y'all saw us sitting on the bus together, laughing and talking all the time, y'all came up with the whole notion that we were sleeping together. Yeah. And I said it before and I'll say it again. I ain't got to lie about no booty. If I did it, I did it. I ain't got to lie about that. But if I didn't do it, then I'm letting you know that you made this up. But this is what they do in the church. Like, honestly, let's be real about it. Scott, everybody else, let's tell the truth about this. And I don't mean no harm, but let me just say it this way. From what Justin said, it was at a quartet concert. Let me tell you what I know about some quartet brothers.
Oh, okay.
Quartet concerts.
Bro, you already know, bro.
Be careful. Be careful. You can break some.
No. We I ain't. You know how we get down. You know how we get down.
The parents, they're whores.
Yeah.
They're liars. They slut.
They are.
They nasty. They
Drugs.
And some of them are drug dealers.
Right.
Yo, there was
And
this,
if they ain't drug dealers, they drunks.
there
That's
was
what I
this one
said,
particular.
drunks.
Yep, there was this one particular guy that was from the local area. He would walk. He would do his quartet thing, and he would walk up and down the aisle. You know, whatever
To
like
see
that.
who he was
Getting phone numbers. Getting phone numbers.
Yes.
It was subtle. It was subtle unless you knew. He would walk by and he would see a lady, and if he put his hand on her shoulder,
Yep. That's
just
it.
that, and then walked on by. He was just letting her know, okay, you're next.
That's
Oh, you're
it.
talking
Yeah,
about.
I'm not.
Oh, you stupid. You stupid.
And
I saw one.
And she will touch and agree by doing the Baptist fit.
I saw one.
And so
It's
the
just
guys
ass.
knew that when the show was over, all right, when she walks toward the back of the church, y'all let her through. And
Listen,
that's that.
I
It's just
saw
sex.
one. I saw one in Richmond, California. I will never forget. I don't even know how I got to this. I don't know why I was there. And I walked in this church. I don't want to say who the name of the group
It was a
was.
paycheck. It was a
But
paycheck.
I wasn't playing. That's the
Oh.
thing. I don't know why I was there. I have no clue. But I love quartet.
You
music,
were
so
high and got in the wrong place.
I guess
You
so.
from Patterson?
So-
You gotta love quartet, bro.
So I turned around and I
I'm
went
from
to sit in
Patterson
the
and can't
back of the
stand it.
church.
Sorry.
So I looked up, and one of the members of the quartet group had a white piece of paper in his hand, and he gave one to one lady, gave one to another lady, went about midway to church, gave one to another lady. It was his hotel room number.
While he was singing,
Why not?
yo,
And I
that's-
sat there. I was sitting in the back, and I thought he was giving them money at first. I was like, "Oh man, he's really trying to bless people." Yeah, yeah.
That's
One of these
bold.
guys
He
came
was
back to
blessing
me
them,
and
all right.
said, he said, yo, you know what he was doing, right? I said, no. He said, yo, he was giving his hotel number. Yo, his hotel, the address and his room numbers on the papers. I said, nigga, you lying. One of the ladies
Bruh.
thought she was going to get there a little bit earlier, so she started walking. What up, Denzel? So she started walking, and this boy went and grabbed her. He says, ma'am, excuse me. She said, yes, sir. He said, that man just give you a piece of paper. She said, and I'm on my way right now.
But that ain't no
I
different
said,
from what these pastors do out here too. They do the same thing in the middle
but
of preaching.
what I'm saying is that now here's what I'm gonna say about the quartet world. They not hiding from nobody.
That's
No.
true. No,
They-
that's
They
true.
not hiding from nobody. You
We
know
all-
what it is. That's why I don't go to certain ones, because then I know, and like what's said, some of them drug deals or whatever, some of these brothers know what the jail is, but I'll fight any one of you. I don't care about none of your jail time, none of your boys. I don't care about none of that. You come up on my girl like that,
You got
we're
that
gonna have a
right,
problem.
Jack.
We're gonna have a problem. We're gonna have a big problem. So we just don't go. You know, my whole thing is, you know, I know what that life is like, but what I'm saying is that these are just things that have been set up. These are the way that things have, and listen, that stuff didn't just start yesterday.
It's
That's been going on
It's been going
for
on for a long time.
years. I remember one specific quartet that used to come up in Patterson, New Jersey. I saw them. I saw it with my own eyes. I saw this brother get a girlfriend that night. I was 7 years old. I saw it for myself. And he had a van out back behind School 28.
Good God.
And that girl went back in that van, got in that front door. And at 7 years old, I said, uh-oh.
My man was riding the mighty high.
So,
The
somebody,
mighty high.
somebody about to sing tonight. Somebody's about to
Uh-oh.
call him up and tell him what she wanted.
You cannot.
Brent.
Brent, you changed. Something's different about you.
Woo.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, You know, between this Prosecco and that wig, I had to let one win a battle.
I can't. You had a wig on.
Oh, you got, go back and look at the beginning of the show when he first comes on.
Oh my
You'll
God.
see.
Yeah,
Like I said, he changed.
I tell you, he had rollers and all, Doc.
Oh Lord.
And something else. All right, y'all. So here we go. We talked about Kimber. I don't understand why this girl Jaguar Wright ain't deceased by now, because she done told on so many people.
You know, speaking of
She
people that need to
Somebody
shut
bring me
up,
up to speed. I have no idea who this is. I have zero idea who this is.
Trust me, she
Neither
tells
does the rest of the
everything,
world.
bro.
Jaguar Wright is talking about, when I tell you everybody, she even went as far as Gladys Knight. And I'm sitting up here looking at my phone
Nobody
like,
talking about Auntie Gladys?
this is what she said. She said, Gladys Knight is 80 years old. There's no reason why this lady shouldn't have no money at all. She said, this is what she said on the, you can go back and see it. It's got over 1 million views. She
Yep.
turned around and said, Gladys Knight's husband allegedly spent all her money. Gladys Knight and Anita Baker allegedly are very good at cards, right? They are some avid card players, right?
Mm-hmm.
They said that Gladys Knight came here to win some money, and all the money that she lost, she had to pay debts to people.
Right.
So they offered her to come and basically do a residency here in Las
In
Vegas.
Vegas. Yeah, I heard about that.
And they told her that she can come and do a residency here and she can pay the money back. So, but the first year of her residency, she made no money at all
That's right.
because she had lost so much money that she had to work here for free for a year before she could recoup or get any money that she could keep.
That's what she
And
said.
I was sitting there looking at this TikTok, and I was like, hold on, is this true?
She got a gambling
And
problem?
it wasn't her. Here's what happened. Her husband, but she almost lost Gladys, that restaurant in Atlanta. She almost lost it.
she
Oh,
did
the
lose
Ron Winans restaurant
No,
thing.
she did lose it, but that had
But
nothing to
that
do with
wasn't
her
because of
husband.
her
That was
son.
her
I mean, that was
son.
her son. That had nothing to do with her
Well,
husband.
So Jaguar Wright is a liar. If
Well,
she ain't got no more information, no more people, then whatever. And my thing is, if you know she
well,
run her mouth, why would you keep giving her the news?
Yeah, because her son tried
because
to declare her incompetent and it didn't work.
declare who incompetent.
Gladys.
He tried to have
He
her
tried to
declare.
declare Gladys declared incompetent.
Get the heck out of here.
So
And that
why is
was
her
why
husband?
the
So why is
restaurant
her
all went
husband?
down because of that.
So why is her husband and her son trying to do her in? What That's what I don't understand. Where
Her
is this?
husband's name was on no
On nothing.
business deals. It was not on any business deals. And see, this is why Jaguar Wright need to shut the hell up, because she's a crackhead, first of all. And second of all, snitches get stitches. And at the end of the day, this is something that Jaguar Wright had to do so that she can become relevant again. Because again,
Relevant.
all she
Okay.
ever wanted to do was become famous. So she created all these stories that sound so believable, and it will make you believe that it is so true because she's so loud and she's so vocal and she's so whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, you were not in these rooms with these people, sweetie. You were not. And you like to talk about everybody else, but at the end of the day, you mean to tell me you got all this information on people, but the very man you was sleeping with was trying to kill you and set you up the whole time? Like,
Mm-mm.
so shut up. Speaking of a shut up cancel culture,
That's
why don't you
it.
cancel this hoe? Like,
That's
cancel
it.
her. Like, and at the end of the day, uh, uh, she does not have a long life expectancy because you releasing all this information, but what's gonna happen, baby? Them niggas gonna catch you off guard, and they gonna pop you, and you really gonna be disappeared. You see what I'm saying? You playing
Well,
with
that
the
was my
wrong
question.
people
Why has she been able to do this for this long?
So
Why
Because the
because
why?
if
mafia
she
ain't get her yet.
because if she gets done away with right now,
Hmm.
it
Mhm.
will just
It's gonna
highlight.
draw the wrong eyes.
It's gonna draw the wrong. It's too hot. It's too fresh,
Yeah.
or whatever. They're gonna wait until this die down a
Right
little bit. They're
down.
gonna wait until
No, here's
until
you know what's really gonna
Jaguar.
happen, Brent? She's gonna all of a sudden develop some sort of illness and
Look at
then just die
Omarosa.
off.
Look at
Hello?
True.
Omarosa. Look at Omarosa.
She got so
The
scared she became
moment
pasta.
that
Yep.
she said she was gonna write a book about
Yep.
all the secrets of the White House and Trump, that heifer
And
disappeared.
45. Yep.
She disappeared. So a Jaguar Wright is no better than Omarosa. And at the end of the day,
she been doing it for
I was
years,
around,
though.
huh?
Yeah, it's been
She been doing
years.
this for years.
Yeah.
But see, here's the
Years.
thing. Only because now I'm not gonna say everything she said was a lie because some stuff was true. But my thing is, if you got so much information about all these private rooms, what the hell were you doing there?
That's
Right.
That's
exactly
people got to
something that
understand. They got to understand when you going around talking about folk. The first thing that comes out is
How
how do
you
you
know?
know?
Hmm.
How do you?
How do you
Because
know?
everybody not calling you, and you can call out Blau, you can call out all these other people that called and gave you information, stuff like that. Baby, let me tell you something. If that's the case, then you just proved that you are not even worthy of people of friendship because you just gonna run your mouth when you get broke. She ain't got no
Can't
money.
nobody trust
This
her.
heifer was
Yeah.
living in a
And
hotel.
yeah,
You don't ever trust a bitch that live in a hotel.
and the
Come on
person
now.
that and the
And
person that
my thing is, I was around when she was big, and I can't remember one song she did.
I
I
can't
didn't know
either,
who she
bro.
was. I didn't know who she was till she
I don't
I
started
didn't
know
know
who
talking.
either.
I
Okay,
don't know who that
now
is.
we
I
getting
still don't
somewhere.
know who she is, honestly.
Now we
Yeah.
getting somewhere, and I believe it was the Bible that said, "Paul, I know, Jesus, I
But
know,
nigga, who is
who you.
you?
but who the hell are you?"
Who you?
You see what I'm saying? And
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 what you
and, and, and
the
he,
part you're not saying, Brent, the part you're not saying, after he asked the question, he whooped at it. I mean, he whooped him.
he beat him down. And so
he
my
whooped
thing
that. He
is
whooped that.
with Jaguar Wright, if you so whatever, then let your artistry speak for you. Let your talent speak to you.
We had that conversation
Let
earlier.
more speak
Let
for
the
you.
work you do speak for you.
Let may the work Shaya
There you
I
go.
have done. Let it speak for me. Thank you, Lord.
There
Let
you
it
go.
speak for me. Because when you get off your knees and when you have drank all the semen you could take,
Oh
and
no.
when you have
Oh no.
ate every vagina
Oh
from
no.
California to New York,
Oh no.
at the end of the day,
When you're resting in
what
your grave.
do you have? And if your mission is to become relevant
Yeah.
and to get another contract and recording deal, you have shot yourself, thank you, Lord.
Tanya.
In your own foot. In your
And
own
Tanya.
foot.
nobody
Tanya.
from here to
Yeah.
Kalamazoo is going to want to ever deal with you.
Yeah.
So if you were in those rooms, sweetie, enjoy them because you will never
Oh
be
no. Oh
invited
no. Oh
Did
to
you
no.
those
fart?
Oh
spaces
no.
again. You will never be invited to those people's homes again. You will never be
Jesus.
invited to those secret chambers again. You will never. So you better hope that this YouTube and this podcast stuff put enough money in your bank account that you can live for a couple of years and enjoy the money that you think you should have got. But when she did one video and tried to sing and did a reference a Prince
Mm-mm,
song, the
Oh,
mm-mm.
notes
I
was
said,
everywhere but on
what
But the
key.
keyboard.
So
what in
so
the
I
broccoli
remember
water
I
baloney
remember
smell is this?
look, first of all I thought Brent had a whole like suit on, but okay, I see what you got on.
You
I
didn't see
love
what he
it.
had
You
on
got a little
earlier.
okay.
I have on a robe because I ain't got
I
on nothing
seen
but a
that.
t-shirt.
Oh, okay.
You covered it.
But no,
You like that, Tanya?
I only remember her doing I only remember her
I see them curls.
you so silly. I only remember her when she did a live with Jay-Z when he did like it was like MTV Unplugged or something like that. And
I'm
she
glad
did
30
you
years
remember that because
ago.
I don't.
yeah, I remember watching it, I remember recording it, I remember watching it a couple of times, but I didn't know who she was because she didn't really have nothing else other than that. So when she came back, I'm like, who is Jaguar Wright? So when I got familiar, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, I remember her from back there. But I think what's happening is that whoever's recording her is the one that's actually making the money because they probably don't believe her either. But
Yo, that's
because she's
Vlad
getting
TV. That's Vlad
yeah.
TV and all
okay,
of them. That's who
but
that
okay,
is.
well they making the money, they're giving her a piece so she can go smoke it or whatever because because they're getting the views. She's a great storyteller, even though people, some of us, a lot of us don't believe her, but people are still listening. If you give them 15 seconds into a 60-minute or longer, that's considered a view.
What she don't
So
understand is
she's being conned.
the
She's being
music
used.
industry,
Mhm.
they are gangster, like
They are.
mafia gangster.
Yeah.
And
And
if
she
you
will be off very soon.
off for real, for real.
You're right.
First of
She
all,
gonna
here's the
offer herself.
reality of it. The reality of it is what we need to all understand, and I want people to really understand that, first of all, these black people do not own these labels. Let's be very
Mm-mm.
clear. They don't
Exactly.
own them. It's either the Italian mob or it's the
Italian.
Jew
Yep.
Or the Jewish
or
mob
the Jewish mob. Those are
That
the
was
and
two
the
Right.
persons
mobs.
involved in between.
Listen, and what they know, listen, when Homeboy got shot and he got killed, he was worth more money dead than alive. So when he got shot, and I'm talking about one of the Migos, when he got
Uh-huh.
shot, the insurance on his life was
You
four
showed
hundred
yeah.
$50 million.
Sweet
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
And all of that went back to
So
the
when they
record
say
label. His
stuff like
family
you're
didn't get
dead
it.
to me, they mean it.
Yeah, they didn't go back to their family or anything like that. What we have to understand, and moving on to the next phase, but what we have to understand is that, what I know is anybody who has nothing to lose is a dangerous person
Yeah.
Yep.
because when they don't have anything to lose, they don't care about you losing nothing. I told y'all in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of this program when it was just Tracy and I, my aunt said to me, if you're going to do something, do it with somebody that has as much to lose as you do.
For sure.
And she was only saying that because she was laying with somebody that didn't belong to her. But my point was,
My savior.
We've all done it. I did it let me shut up. But the thing about it is
Terrence
though,
said every faded.
the thing about it, the thing about it is that it really you know why the black culture can't get ahead? Because we are the ones tearing each other down.
We're a bunch of
Now,
crabs.
We
That's
are
right.
we are
those of
literally our
us,
own worst enemies.
those of us that are from the Northeast, we been knew P. Diddy wasn't no shit. We been knew
For sure.
that we been knew what was going on with R. Kelly and Aaliyah. We
Yep.
been knew Jill Scott was a hoe.
I
We
watched
Yep.
it.
been knew all
Uh-oh.
these other things. We been knew
Where'd that come
Will
from?
Smith was frolicking with little boys. We
Uh-oh.
been knew that Blau be on all type of mushrooms and all this other kind of stuff. We been
Ugh.
knew Mary J. Blige is
Right.
low key a lesbian. We been knew Queen Latifah was a dyke. We
Low
been
key.
Yeah.
knew all of this
Mary
stuff.
J. Low
Now,
key. I
now,
ain't never know
that
her
I
to be low
knew.
key.
No,
But
that
okay.
Jill Scott thing kind of blew me though. I didn't know that.
Jill Scott
What?
is
Just
a
so
slut from the 80s,
Oh
but
no.
it is
Oh
what it
no.
is.
Oh
We
no.
been knew that because she talks about it in
I was
her
going to say she talked about her
lyrics.
music. Yeah.
mm,
All of Jill Scott songs is about a nigga that she done slept with. And
Now that's
honestly,
true.
her
And
talent,
serving grits.
oh,
okay, her talent,
sometimes you gotta
as
do.
well as
Spoken
she's a
word.
prime example of being at the right place at the right time.
Mm,
But she studied her craft. She knows her music. She knows vocal care. She knows how to captivate an audience. She knows wordplay. But we've been all of us that are from the East Coast, we've been knew this stuff about people.
Yeah.
However, we kept it solid. I'll go to the West Coast. Tanya is from LA. You been knew Easy E got HIV because he was frolicking with a
been
nigga.
there. Mm-hmm.
We knew that. That's how he got AIDS. That's how he
Mm-hmm.
died.
It
We
was.
been knew that NWA was a bunch of gangsters that had the hood and their gangs to protect them and to promote them. We been knew LL Cool J is bisexual. We been knew Wendy Williams was we been knew all of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We been knew. But at the end of the day, we kept the street code of snitches get stitches.
Orlando, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Terrence,
first rule
Terrence,
to the
you all right?
streets. And though I might have grew up in a gated community, that ain't no good of my own.
No, you didn't.
But at the end of the day, I was very ghetto because my father was from Newark. Now,
I was in the gated community too.
hello, and that don't mean nothing. That don't make you no special. That just
Not the
My
mean you
house
front
didn't
can't.
have
gate,
a gate
babe.
on it.
Not the
So
front gate, babe. Not the front
I didn't
gate.
have
You
no gate.
So we had
I
no,
had
I
brick.
okay?
no. I know what I'm saying. I was in the projects. We had
We had
gates.
listen.
We had gates around the
Let me tell you,
windows.
living in a
With
country
the
club is
screen door.
overrated. You just got a bunch of old racist white people and high HOA fees. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, these are things that we've been knew. And so this is not shocking. We've been knew Bill Cosby was a pervert. We've been knew Sammy L. Davis Jr. was a pervert. All of these people, Hollywood is based off of a bunch of people who has literally sold their souls to the devil.
Help us,
That's a
Lord.
fact. That's true.
Mhm.
That is the only way you're going to make it because there is a sacrifice
Right.
that you have to
Gotta
get
give up
what you
something.
want.
You gotta
There is
give up
a
something.
even in the gospel community.
Give it up, turn it loose.
Right.
Listen, if you ain't the sacrifice, you're going to have to sacrifice something. You see what I'm saying? There has to be an exchange for notoriety,
Fame.
fame, fortune, all of
But
these
Brent,
things.
let me say this to you. What I do know about that is you're exactly right. They've talked about this for years. This ain't nothing new that you're saying. It's been going on for decades and eons, and it's been here. But what I'm saying is that in this game they call popularity and being notarized and being famous and being a household name and all of this, you got to know when to shut up. And the reason why Puffy is going through what he's going through right now is the fact that he talked about Ciroc. He got involved with their stocks. Their numbers went down. He messed with their money. And when that happened, them people was like, you got too much going on than to sit up here and try to tell everybody how wrong we treating you. So since we treating you wrong, let's show everybody how much wrong you're doing. Now, all
Yeah.
I want to say is this. What you got to be very careful of, stop biting the hand that's feeding you. Stop biting the hand that's feeding you. Stop putting it in your mouth and biting the fingers off. You know, I've said that even in relationships. I really just wish people to understand that, you know, just because a person is giving you money does not mean that they own you. But at the same time, there's a certain level of respect and reverence you got to have, because at the end of the day, things are happening because of this person. Things are happening because of Ciroc. Guess what? Puffy ain't had a hit song from a and I don't know how long. I forgot Bad Boy was even out here. You know, but at the end of the day, the people that Luke said it best. Luke from Two Live Crew, he went on TikTok and he had over 80,000 people watching his live, and he said, "Hey, I tried to tell this boy, when they dressing you up and giving you homes and mansions, and they giving you Maybachs and Rolls Royces and Bentleys, and you know they put you in suits and stuff like that. You go out there, you dance that jig, you get that check, you go home, because what you doing is you biting the hand that's feeding you." And you can't bite the hand that's feeding you when it's a multi-billion-dollar company and you worth 300 million, but they got billions on you. You know what I'm saying? You got to watch how you talking to these people, because there's so much that they have going on that they could end your whole career, bro. And all I'm saying now is look at where we are now. You are in a position where they won't even let you pay $50 million
Million.
go home. That's
You know
not,
why?
listen,
Because
it's not 5,000, it's not
He's
500,000.
getting
but
he's
Right.
getting his just desserts.
if you can afford to give the court $50 million, that means that you got enough that you can take whatever you got left and disappear, and they'll never find you.
That's
And the
right.
funny thing about it is that he
That's why they
found.
took his passport too.
Yeah, no,
Right, but here's the problem.
here's
If
If
the
he
I
had
can
thing.
give
stayed
you
in Cape
$50 million,
Verde,
what does you taking my passport mean?
But hold on,
if he had
the
stayed in
thing.
Cape Verde, though,
thing.
he would have never
He
had to worry
said
about
this.
this.
Here's the thing. He had paid off the house a week or so before
Yeah.
this. He had gotten. What he ended up doing was getting this package together because he knew that this was coming. And
Right.
so not only did he not only turn in his passports, but every single last one of them, including Love, who was like a year old. Everyone's
Right.
passport has been
It's gone,
turned in.
yeah.
So he tried to put this package out there not once, but twice, and got denied not once, but twice. They're gonna make a name. They're gonna make a
He's
But
example
when
out
you
of this
got
they're
man.
making an example out of him.
But when you got
Absolutely.
Yeah.
that kind of money, if you have access to that kind of money, again, that you could afford to even consider giving the court $50 million, you mean to tell me you don't think that I've got enough money in my pocket that I can still find a way to get on somebody's private jet that
Yeah.
Here's
doesn't
the problem. But
and
Terrence, here's
go
the
wherever
problem.
and go to a country where there's no extradition treaty
Here's
or
the problem. He was already there. He was in Cape Verde. He came back. If he had stayed in Verde, he'd have been fine. He came
Just like
back
that
trying to
stupid
close
girl.
everything up. He would have been fine if he had stayed over
That
there because there's no extradition.
Tiffany,
But the
that
major
Tiffany
problem is
Henyard,
That
right.
stupid girl always coming
Stupid
back.
girl.
What the
But
world?
here's the problem with Puffy. If now he has no access to any of that because he felt like being in Rikers, his life was in jeopardy. So guess where they moved him to? Essex County
Jersey.
Jail. Essex County Jail. So I hope that all that baby oil that he had, I hope he got access to it.
Oh, I found out about that baby oil thing. So people in Jamaica said that you can actually take that and put HTC. Is that right? HTC?
THC.
THC. Thank you. In it. And so
That's weed.
well, okay. Well, yeah. You can because it needs a clear liquid for you to put it in there and not be detectable. And people rubbing it on them people doing what they're doing to it, and they don't even realize that they're getting high from it. They could be drugged. Oh my God, yes. It's a thing that's
So
So
starting.
the
he's
thing
doing
is,
the
he was
same
drugging
thing that
people.
Bill
Bill
Cosby doing.
Cosby did.
And let me
Right.
tell you something.
Like,
I done
he's
had
like, let me
some
figure out my
THC
uncle.
baby oil, and it was a good time with me. You hear me? I done been there, done that, moved on,
Yes.
ain't going
And
back.
so
And
again,
I have been to a P. Diddy party in Miami, Florida on Star Island. Now I'm not gonna
You
say what all took place. However,
you don't have to. We can
I'm telling you
only
what
I
I
would
know.
say
I'm
I
not
would
telling you what I heard.
listen real quick. I'm gonna tell you. For those who are watching, we typically go off on our own and listen and talk. I'm typically getting ready for bed. I will stay up to hear that.
Okay.
my
I
God
trust
in
Tiffany, you
heaven.
might want to stay tonight,
yeah.
okay? Because let me
No,
tell you.
I
let me
have
tell you what.
Gather around, kitties.
No, I won't snore. I won't do none of that. But hush. I'm staying for that story. All right, Brent. If not, I'm calling you on your personal phone, and I'll let everyone else know what happened.
And you have my phone number, so you can call me anytime. But let me tell you something. You know what? I think, and I don't know if anybody has ever thought about this, but isn't this ironic that this would come out during one of the biggest years of election?
Ooh.
Distraction.
Mm-hmm.
To get niggas off track?
Niggas.
Because it's only the black folks that's tricked. White folks
Don't
been
even
doing
care
this for I don't know how long. And we want to talk about George Bush and Abraham Lincoln and all this stuff, but they were slave masters.
Yep.
You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
right.
isn't it ironic that all of this stuff comes out during the election year?
It's
One of
never
the
ironic
biggest
because if you ever pay
election
attention
years.
to all of the elections, it always happens this way.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the niggas. Always.
Because that stuff with Bill Cosby didn't come out until Obama was in office.
He was about to go for his second term. That's right.
Yep.
Hello.
Oh, that's
because they
true.
trying to get us
That's
off
true.
track.
Off track.
So see,
That
because
ain't
they
sure.
know.
You went too light because we already knew about Diddy. So it was like, okay, thank you. Moving on. We're still gonna vote.
And here's the other gag. Everybody hold your pearls. Everybody clutch their pearls. I'm about to go there.
Clutching.
Uh-oh.
I'm about to go there. Thank you, Lord.
I'm clutching.
Kevin,
Diddy ain't no worse than some of these bishops we grew up under.
Oh, Jesus.
There ain't no reason to hold the pearls on
I
that.
let go my
Because
pearls.
that's
I let go my pearls.
Say it ain't so.
He ain't no worse than some
It's
of
a
the
lie, though.
pastors that we still sow seeds to.
And gospel artists.
Wait a minute, but how about they were all at his parties?
Oh,
TD Jakes wasn't the only one. I'll tell you
Whoa.
a few that I seen at the one in Miami.
Wow.
And we ain't got to put up no allegedly sign.
We need to go ahead and go. We need to go so we can get on the after party.
You stop trying to run my show, woman. We're gonna stay here and we're gonna hear this story.
12 hours today. I worked 12 hours today.
All right.
Girl, I worked 12 hours yesterday too. And pause. The one I told y'all I had an issue with the last time that I was on here high.
She apologized.
She apologized.
The black one. No, she got fired.
Oh.
Her last day.
Don't mess with God's children.
Her last day is Friday.
You don't mess with God's people.
Jesus said, "In the high place,
I'll bring them down.
I'm gonna bring them down." But before you go, I'm gonna cuss you out.
You already did that already.
I will make the darkness light before thee.
I saw her flat Blackfoot self today, and she ain't saying
What is wrong? I'll make it right before thee. All that battles I will fight before thee. In the high place I will bring down.
Can't nobody sing that song for me like that one long screeching soprano Betty Nelson. But that's another song.
Actually, you ain't never heard Lorraine Stansel do that song.
No,
you ain't never heard.
But you know what? See, I really can't listen to Lorraine Stansel because the heterosexual in me is still very turned on by a 70-year-old woman. It's something about her legs. It's just when I see her in a pair of ultra sheer pantyhose, it just ravishes me in a way that
She got strong calves because she been kicking my ass.
And you needed it kicked.
That's a strong ass. That's a strong ass.
You needed it kicked. However, back to
out there with sweaters
all the way over there.
P. Diddy is the black Donald Trump.
I said the same thing, bro.
Yeah.
He just got caught. He just got caught. That's all.
Diddy is in the news more than Trump is.
More than Trump is.
Right.
And he got indicted. Like, come on,
and
bro.
Trump love it. Trump love it. He like,
Yeah, he do.
You know who Trump's biggest problem
ain't the
is?
one that blew the whistle.
Anything to distract people from the fact that he has no platform or policy initiative or anything.
Absolutely. But you know who Donald Trump's biggest problem is? Is that light-skinned lady. Well, besides that, is that light-skinned lady known as Kamala Harris. He has a
Kamala Harris.
He don't.
He loves her. No, he does like her.
He don't. No, you know what? He loves her power. He loves that she not scared of him.
You
Right.
know what he
He-
want to do?
He's turned
He
him
want to
down, but
grab
he
her
don't.
by
He don't
the
like that one.
That's
Grab
exactly
her
what he want to do,
coochie.
Avery. He want to grab her right by it.
grab her right
And you
there.
and you
It
and you
it,
know what she
it,
said,
it,
Tanya.
it,
What are
makes
you
it,
doing?
it
That's what she
excites
was.
him.
That's what he wants. He want to grab her and go.
He's excited.
You know,
Excited.
and
He want him a strong black woman
she he, you know, and
Try that
I
little
just
lady out.
believe it's only a matter of time before he calls her a nigga
on TV.
on
Wait,
And
TV.
that's when the Civil War will start, Tanya.
Let me tell
Because
That's
you
when
she
it'll
that.
almost called
start.
him a
I'm
she almost called him
scared.
a
I'm gonna
mother.
just stay in the
His
house. I'm not
base will
going
still
out.
not be dissuaded by that. As vulgar and vile as they know that would be, they still be like, it's cool.
I'm gonna raise
Yeah,
my own chickens if that
but
happens.
listen, but I'm trying to tell y'all, I think, well, first of all, here's what I know. If Donald, hypothetically, this is not real, y'all don't get upset with me. I'm just saying hypothetically. If Donald Trump was to win, first of all of us need to go into a bunker.
For sure.
Somebody get ready
You know,
to tear this country up. That's
And they
first
are
one.
being built as we speak, bro.
As we speak.
They've
They
been
keep
built
showing
for
y'all
they've
know,
been built
hold
for
on,
the
hold on.
last 6
Did
years.
y'all notice? Remember when COVID happened, when it first went down, how they was
Yep.
in Georgia, in
Yep.
Alabama, they had those concentration not camps, but
Underground.
they had the underground thing, but then they also had the line boxes
Yes.
because they already knew that mounds of people were getting ready to die.
Yes, they did.
Yep.
And they
They
had them
them
all in
stacked
them.
up.
They had them stacked up one by one, each on them
Yes, they did.
18 wheelers.
Yes, they did.
And I said, now why would y'all have this ready like this unless y'all knew? Lysol cans was telling us for hundreds of years
Yes,
that
they
it kills coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
Yes, it
Because
did.
the
I ain't never
cold is
heard of that.
coronavirus.
And then it said H1N1.
It sure
That's
did.
what it said. It says it on there. They listen,
Yes, it does.
Lysol ain't changed nothing. Paid attention. That's all. They ain't never said, which is why if you
You said
think
that's
about it
sexy.
now, think about it now. Has Lysol really been promoting anything? If you really think about it,
Well, when
Here's the
ever
thing.
Lysol
Lysol.
and Listerine, the gold
they have
kind.
they cut the gold one out. You know why?
Cut it out.
My
Because
mom
the
just
gold
told
killed
me
a lot of germs.
it kills a lot of. My mom told me that when she had a problem with her throat, I know to use peroxide. That lady
It's that
took some
gold Listerine.
Listerine. That gold
Listerine.
Listerine. They don't even have it no more. I mean, they got it, but it's very far and few between. You're not gonna find it in like with the green and the blue
Nowhere.
and all that.
Mhm.
And I said, why is that? Because anything that kills germs on contact is
They
not
don't.
something they want to have because
And
they
I'm
still
gonna
trying
tell
to
you how
deal with
true
this
that is.
population.
I'm gonna tell you how true it is. When I had COVID, 2 days after, right in between the first 2 days that I actually found out that I had it, I used gold Listerine, and that thing cleared up my throat so bad. I couldn't feel nothing. It was just I felt better. So what you're saying is actually right with that and Listerine, bro.
I got one more. I got one more.
Mhm.
That's a good one. That's a good one. There's one more thing that will clear it all up.
Oh,
Oh
shit!
God!
All right. We thank everybody for joining.
She trying to
tonight.
kill us, bro. Yeah, it's gonna clear it up, right? It's gonna clear it up
MSG.
right up to glory.
And
Hey,
preparing you for the morgue.
it's gonna clear up your coronavirus. It's gonna bring your blood pressure sky high, where you having strokes immediately. Yeah, go
You know
ahead.
what
You know
I'm
what
telling
else
you?
is something that
You know what I'm telling you?
another
This
thing that you can't find nowadays, if you think about it,
is
but the
making
old
me
folks
this.
have always talked about it. When you've got arthritic pain, if you use green alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
Get
That's
on there.
it.
that
Okay,
That
green
rubbing
okay.
alcohol,
Yeah,
yes,
alcohol,
sir.
because I got
it
No
arthritic
more.
works.
pain.
It
I used to
works.
bathe in
And
that.
Does
so
it
Shit.
hurt on your
now, if
body?
you pay attention,
You
you
can't
really
find it.
can't
You don't
find
You
it.
can't
see.
find it.
Oh,
You
Nope.
got to go to
And if you
Dollar
do
Tree.
find it,
You got
if
to,
you go to
yeah.
the Dollar
Put it
Tree,
on.
Dollar,
you
go to
Got it
Dollar
on.
Tree
Walgreens,
or Dollar General.
Walgreens is
One of them.
always stocked up on it, but they have it on the bottom shelf and it's usually toward the back. You gotta
Yo,
look for
have you been to a Walgreens lately? When I tell you the ones that
it. They
I've
look
seen,
naked.
why are they so bare right now?
They look naked
They look
because
real naked.
Walgreens inherited Rite Aid, and Rite Aid was a company that was already defunct when they
That's
inherited it,
true.
and that brought them down. CVS is popping because every time you
Yep,
turn around, CVS is giving you rewards back. They're giving you
Yep.
yep.
coupons to buy
That's
Can
stuff.
I
right.
ask y'all a
That's right.
CVS
question?
is where it is because CVS was bought out by it was bought out by Aetna.
Can I ask
Oh
Well,
y'all a
the
wow.
question?
CVS
What is
down here is always
green
closed,
alcohol?
so
Does
I
it
don't
rub it
know.
on our body?
Oh, we got 24-hour ones up here.
No,
What
I
happened?
was
What
just
happened?
close because don't
What
nobody want
happened,
to work.
Tanya? What happened, Tanya?
What are we doing with the green alcohol? Are we rubbing it on our
Yes.
Yes.
Rub it on your
I'll
joint.
rub it or
Rub it
I
on
put
the
on
area.
some
Your
bath
joints.
water.
You
Area,
could
yeah.
soak in
Listen,
it.
You rub
you
it on
can
your joint.
soak. It's like having
Soak in
Epsom
it.
salt.
Yeah.
Epsom
So
Can I
salt
ask
was
y'all a
something else
question?
that worked.
Can I ask y'all a question? Maybe I should ask more like Tracy and maybe even Brent. So I have holes other than
What the?
okay.
We know
You,
that. We all
you're
know that.
so you're telling me that I could soak in it and it ain't gonna affect the
No, it's actually gonna clear you out.
Baby, it's better than Summer's Eve.
So when I was a little girl, I would suffer with my legs hurting like crippling bad,
okay.
and
It's
I
not
would
funny, but I'm
take
listening. I'm listening.
and I would take the green alcohol and I would pour it on towels and put it on my legs, and it would actually the cramps out of it would go out of my legs. My legs would hurt so bad when I was a little girl, probably because I wasn't growing because my mama didn't take the vitamins she was supposed to. But it's okay. Yeah, I'm real short. And
No, it's okay, and it's not
But and
funny
it
at
smells
all.
good.
Whoever's
It's a
laughing is
winter
going
I was
to
about to say,
hell.
it's got that spearmint smell. It smells really
yeah,
good.
Oh, okay, that's good. Look,
Wait a minute,
I'm pulling it up.
Tracy.
Shut up,
Tracy.
Kevin.
Yeah, what
Wait a
you just
minute.
threw in there though, right?
Shut up.
Tracy. Tracy.
Shut up.
Wait a
Tracy
minute.
threw that in
Done
there.
with you.
Tracy,
I'm
hold on.
just
Tracy said, "I wish I was a little bit taller."
Look,
She
hold
said
on,
she wish
Avery.
she was a baller. She wish she had
Tracy, how tall you say you are?
I'm like this.
Yeah.
the size of her phone.
Tracy, you how
I
tall?
got
I'm
Tracy,
not
how tall are you, Tracy? I don't remember you being that short. How tall are you?
really because I can pull the picture up and put it in the chat.
How tall? No, but for real, how tall are you?
And I was like, way down there.
It's not funny. Tracy,
You mean to
don't
tell me
make
your
this
base taller
personal.
than you?
Almost.
Bruh.
Your base is you
No,
sideways.
Tracy, you cannot be that tall. How tall are you?
Like 5'2", 5'3".
Oh, that ain't nothing.
That's not too
No.
Is
It's
everybody else in your
I'm only
family tall?
5'8". I'm only 5'8". I'm not that tall, so I
Try
understand.
again.
okay.
No, you not. I'm 5'7".
Avery, I'm
Where?
Avery,
I'm only
he's telling the
5'8".
truth.
I
He's
I'm
telling the
Avery,
truth,
5'11".
what's
Avery.
7 to you?
You're as tall as
Terrence, you
me.
are always taller than me. I'm 5'8". I've
Yeah,
never been tall.
Terrence, you real
Yeah.
tall. Avery, let him say his truth because he's telling the truth.
5'8", man.
Tanya is only saying that
Avery,
because she
what's
wants to be a
5'7" to
tall
you?
female.
Stop.
She wants
I'm
to be
still
a
stuck on
tall.
Avery
So
saying
back
he
to
5'7".
back to my diagnosis.
No, I am
Okay, so I could
5'7".
just take a towel and put it over my leg. You
I just went to the
listen.
doctor and found out I was 5'10". So
Look
Yeah,
at
you
you
tall
calling
too.
me
See,
Kevin.
I
yeah.
didn't. I
Hey,
for
let me
years I've
tell
been
y'all
told I'm
something. Let me
5'7".
tell y'all something really quick. I want y'all to hear me really well. Terrence can attest to this only from one group, but all the other ones I know. I have never seen it. Tracy, you probably know this too. I have always noticed. You don't read your Bible, obviously. But listen,
I'm gonna get off this thing. I'm gonna make it unfunny.
don't get off. Don't get it. So look, what I noticed was, have you guys ever noticed that a lot of popular people in music are no taller than 5'2"?
Yes.
Have
Come
y'all
on,
ever noticed
Tracy.
that?
Come on, Avery.
Yes.
Come on, Kevin.
There's a lot of people. No, there's a lot of people who are not tall. I'm gonna speak
Kirk
about
Franklin.
my boys.
Kirk Franklin.
Listen, the only tall one in New Edition is Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Everybody else is
He's like an
midget,
alien.
Well, no.
right?
He was like 5'8", 5'9".
Who?
Bobby.
No,
I'm
Bobby's
talking
about
about the
6
New
feet.
Edition without. Yeah, the Bobby's tall, but I'm talking about the New Edition without Bobby. But if you got to do
Oh,
that,
got
yeah.
you.
But here's a reality.
Oh.
Mint condition. All of them short. All of them.
Teddy
I'm
Riley
looking at
is
these
short
big guys.
too.
Teddy Riley's about a foot shorter than I am.
Who's
You
the people
know,
gonna tell me what you want?
Drew Hill. They
Cisco.
He's all short.
They short.
Cisco.
Anita Baker
I
is
love me some
4.
Cisco.
Wait a minute, Tracy. Wait.
Oh, you saw that? She was like,
Wait a
yes.
Right.
You don't walk.
Yes.
You got taller that time.
She
You got
said
taller that
sex
time.
chocolate.
Cisco reminds me of somebody else.
Wait. Somebody like who? Hold on, Tracy. This is about you tonight. Somebody like who?
Brent know who I'm talking about.
Don't be Brent. I remember that night.
And just so happen I have stories about both individuals.
Oh Lord.
We'll leave that alone.
Hamburger.
The people know Cisco, but I know Cisco from Baltimore, and we're gonna leave that where it's at.
Yeah, that's where he from. That's you know, Cisco used to be at the chocolate factory right there. And he used to be right there at the Baltimore Harbor. Yes, he did.
Look at little
Yes, he
Cisco.
did.
Oh, God.
Really need to go
Brent, you think I don't know? I know.
That scared me.
How
That
you
scared
know,
me a little bit.
Huh?
How do you know, Kevin?
Because I went down there all the time and saw his little tail singing right over there, and he had a whole line of people waiting for him. And trust me,
He like more than
Terrence, good
crabs.
question.
Was
I'll
there
say
baby
that.
oil around? Is what I want to know. Was there
You
baby
said what?
oil in the room?
Maybe not for Cisco. He might have.
Not for Cisco. It might have been for somebody else.
Cisco
Yeah.
is this short. Cisco is this short, and his hair is.
But
this
Tracy, I, it was so amazing to me. Like, and I started realizing, even Frankie Beverly, God rest his soul,
He's
Frankie
short.
Beverly was not tall. He was
No.
short.
Michael Jackson is tall.
Michael Jackson was,
I
yeah,
can't
but
believe that.
I mean, but look at Prince though. Prince wasn't tall.
Prince was a midget.
Prince was like 4'9".
Right.
With heels.
He wore heels.
He was 5'1" with heels. When he
Right.
took the heels off,
With
he was
heels,
4'11".
right.
With Anita
Well,
Baker,
listen,
I always thought Anita Baker was
Stephanie
like
Mills.
No, she's short.
Is short. Stephanie
She's
Mills is
short.
Stephanie
really
Mills
short.
is 4'6".
Yes, that's true.
But Anita Baker, when I first saw her, I was like, okay, she probably gonna be my height, maybe a little bit tall. You look at her like Rochelle Farrell and all of them, they tall. I saw that lady in rehearsal one day. I said, "Oh my God, I was like,
It's
little girl,
little.
where your parents at? Is this
With a
her?"
whole lot of attitude.
Yo,
you got
let
to
me
have a
tell
lot
y'all,
of attitude when you're a certain height.
And her
That's
voice.
Tracy, I don't believe that because you don't have a lot of attitude, Tracy. I don't believe that. I'm sorry.
You
I don't
really
believe
don't.
that.
You
I
really
think
don't.
some
I don't
some
believe that.
short people just angry for no reason though.
I'll tell you one in particular. He always had an attitude. I don't want to say his name, but it rhymes with bar. It rhymes with bar.
Kurt Carr?
Yo,
Tanya,
shoot! I was about to tell
Tanya,
a joke, and I
Tanya.
can't even tell it now, bro. I can't even tell it.
You can't hold water. I
I'm gonna go
can't do
because
it.
I'm ruining the show. I love y'all.
no.
You're not ruining the show.
No, don't go. No.
But Kurt used to always be mad. I'm like, why is he so upset all the time? Well, one day he got off that stage and we was all walking behind him, and all you saw was everybody else. You couldn't see Kurt. And I'm looking behind everybody like,
you be mad too.
He got a
is he in front of us? I thought he was walking. Yeah.
he got a nice shoe collection though.
Oh yeah, you do.
Oh yeah, that little man used to wear some dope suits. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I was like, that's sharp, brother. You paid me like you. Okay, let me shut up. But
I had my hand up.
I just usually. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said you be mad too. Not at me though.
He's not short. Kevin is 6'4". I don't care what anybody tell me.
That's what I'm saying. Kevin ain't no 5'8", bro. You are
Kevin
not.
Stansel is 5'8", brother. I ain't no taller than that. I
Kevin
promise you.
Stansel is a liar.
Bro.
Kevin Stansel is 5'8". Brent,
Kevin, Kevin is definitely not
Brent,
6. He's definitely not 6.
Brent, you are taller than me.
You are taller than him.
And that's without your boots
I'm
on.
going to find this picture we took at Frankie Beverly.
And you're going to see how tall you are. You're going to see that I'm not as tall as you.
No, I got to make the devil a lie. Y'all hold on.
He's going to see it in a minute.
Kevin might be 5'8.25", but he's not like.
I'm not 5'8" or anything. I'm 5'8". I have never been that tall. I've never been that tall. I don't apologize that my presence and my voice makes it seem like I'm 7'4", but I'm not. I am literally, I'm 5'8". And there's absolutely nothing anybody can do about it. Because my father was not tall, and Lorraine certainly is not tall. So
your father is rich and has a man, though.
Well, I'm
Lorraine is so fine though. Like, why is your mama so fine at 70?
Ask her mama.
I really be having to pray when she be singing because I be lusting. Hey, Mama Lorraine. It's just, it is what it is.
Kev, here's the crazy thing about all of that. You talk about height. Now, I'm like I said, I'm about 5'11" or something like that. And I used to, always say, no, I want to be a little taller, but you accept it. Then I come to find, out about my biological family. I'm the shortest.
That-
Oh, that's right. I seen that. Everybody's taller than you.
I'm like, hey,
Your sister is taller than you, ain't
no, she's the only one that's
Okay.
I'm taller than. I'm
Well,
taller. The girls I'm taller than, but all the guys they're
all the guys, they all taller than you.
Yep.
Well, I'm on the wrong side of the pedophile side because everybody else that's a pedophile is tall.
Hey,
My grandfather was the
your dad
short.
and I were about the same height. Give or
My
take.
father was the same height as me, 5'7".
He was Tony was taller. I'm not taller than Tony.
So he
I
was.
don't know,
So then I
well,
get it from my grandparents. There, see that.
Tracy, when I met Victor Wooten,
Oh
I
my!
thought I was gonna die laughing because I saw him and I saw his brothers, and I was like, okay, now I know these guys are gonna be tall over there. They are midgets.
Nathan East is too, bro. When I met him, he was the
Wooten
same height as me. I say, yo.
You said Victor Wooten is taller than you, only
Yep.
probably by a half an inch. He ain't tall.
Yeah, Nathan
I couldn't
East is short
understand
too.
that. I said when I looked at Will Kennedy, he's short. You know, when I look at Oteil Burbridge and all them dudes, they are all short. Maurice
Oteil
White
is
was not. Oteil is short. He's not that tall. He looks
I didn't
tall.
know.
Russell
nobody shorter than Kirk
Ferrante
Franklin.
too. Russell short.
Now, who I knew was tall was when I stood next to Birdie White. I knew that man was tall. Now, I knew that.
I can tell you.
And he was already tall, but then his lace front was tall too. So it was like,
Right.
You said the lace front.
when you dealt with
No,
when you
but
dealt
that's
with
what
that,
it is. Yeah.
Now on the
he
gospel
was.
side, tall. Donnie McClurkin is tall, and so is his sister.
Yeah.
Oh,
Andrea is
Adrian?
tall.
Adrian, yeah,
Andrea.
she's been tall. And you
Jesus.
know who else?
She's what?
Yolanda Adams is tall too.
Yeah,
She's
that's
very
a-
tall.
yes.
She's 6 foot
That's a tall
something.
drink of water, though. Say what you
That's
want.
it.
Think what you will.
Yeah. I saw
That's
her
a
one
tower.
day. She said
Absolutely.
she put her hand on my shoulder and said, "Is that song in E flat?" I said, uh-huh.
Touch me in the morning.
Listen,
Just walk
I
away.
looked at John Peters. I said, "Why didn't nobody tell me that woman was that tall?" He
Yeah.
said,
mean,
"You know how
tall.
John said, yo, she was standing right next to me, money, and I thought I was gonna pass out." He said, "Oh, I saw her belt buckle." He said,
And
Who was
John
this?
is deceptively tall.
Yolanda Adams.
"John is tall. Yeah, he's not." Let me tell y'all something about a guy named John Peters, right?
That
Real
guy
quick.
right there.
The
John
GOAT.
Peters, back in the day, I'm gonna tell you why I didn't like dressing up in church, Tanya, so you understand. There was a guy named John Peters that I literally used to model myself after because John used to look like he wore a 3/4 leather jacket with a hoodie. He had jeans on and he had on Timberlands. John, one night they did a recording at the Green Pastures Church in the Bronx, New York. Tracy, you got to hear this. And we walked into church. Interfaith was doing, because they were doing the record. Bronx Mass was doing the recording that night. Interfaith was special guest. We walked up in there and I heard somebody playing Take Six. And I was like, who the heck is that playing Take Six on organ? It was John, right? So at this time, I didn't really know John yet. So I'm kind of looking and I'm paying attention. I saw this big black dude on this organ. His arms was this
And
big.
he's cock diesel.
And I said, who the heck is that? Yo, when I finally got to know this dude, the church where, first of all, if you say church is in the Bronx, you got to be very careful because it's in the hood somewhere. When we got outside, every Puerto Rican that was on that corner, that dude knew. Everyone. John came outside and my life was changed that night because I'm looking going, you ain't got to be dressed up to go to church. Yo,
He's
when I
such
tell
a
you,
nice guy too.
a very nice guy.
I never seen him in a suit. Never
No,
seen him in a suit.
I've seen him in suits before, but he looked very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I've never seen him in a suit. I've
But-
only seen him in a sport coat.
But he was sitting around, and John, I'm telling you, John was he woke up to go to the gym. Like he lived the gym. So I don't even know how he had time to learn how to play keys like that because he was constantly in the gym. When I tell you that dude changed my life, and at one point, everybody in the band was lifting. Randy was the only one that was skinny. Everybody else was yoked. I was like, the whole band is like that.
What was the other dude that was on the
On bass, his name was Ed Rainey.
That's it.
Ed Rainey was on bass. And when I tell you Ed Rainey looked like he'd been lifting cars all his life, I was like, this whole band just looked like one big muscle. Like everybody over there,
The first time I met John was one of the first times that Bronx Mass came to Bible Way.
I'm gonna tag him in this joint.
And
too.
like you said, I will never forget. Literally, I'm in the church, and all of a sudden I see this big cop diesel
Crazy.
nigga with these the Timbs and the whole thing, and I'm like, who the hell is this getting ready to walk up here? I'm thinking like, oh, they about to jack the church. We about to get jacked. And he got up and got on the organ, and I was like, yo, for real?
Yeah.
I
started off as the drummer. So for him to get on there and kill the organ, I was impressed. I was like, bro, like,
yo, I don't
Started
even
off as a drummer
care.
and still one of the baddest drummers I know, but I'm just saying.
who?
Yeah, I couldn't.
You Avery.
I couldn't deal with the
You remember
fact.
when I threatened you?
I couldn't deal with the fact that John literally walked in that church, and he walked in with Tanya. I'm telling you, John walked in with his hood on.
I thought we were getting
I would have
jacked.
been scared too, Terrence. I would've been
He
scared too.
looked
Not
like he
scared,
was
but
getting
like,
ready to rob everybody in that church.
And
Randy would come in. They all was like, I'm telling you, they were corner boys.
thugs.
Like for real. They all looked like they was carrying. All of them. And that changed my life forever. I was like, I ain't wearing it. I got home. My mother bought me this Easter suit. I'll never forget.
What's
She
the
put
HQ
that
look
suit.
like? What did it look like?
It was horrible. But she put the suit on there. She said, well, Kevin, you're going to wear this Sunday. And this is the first time, I think it was the only time I told my mother no. And I'm still alive to tell about it.
I'm about to say,
But
what?
I said, Mama, I'm not wearing that. I told her no 3 times. She said, well, what do you want to wear? I said, I'm going to pull out those Adidas. I'm going to pull out those jeans. I had a leather jacket that she got me from Greece. I put that jacket on, and I had an orange hoodie.
You must have prayed before she talked. You talked to her, bro.
I did.
We know how she is. We know she. Yep.
God was with you.
Hey man, she just Tracy just sent this picture on the messenger thing. Y'all need to look at it. First of all, I look like I'm 11 on this picture. Why do I look so young?
I don't see no picture.
It's in the messenger joint. It's in messenger.
Oh,
It's in
messenger.
messenger.
Okay, let me look.
And first of all, was this the first time I met you?
Yep.
That was
Look
he had
at
a
how-
growth spurt. He had a growth spurt and he came down.
Yo, just look at the picture. Stop talking. Go ahead.
I'm
Look at the
looking
picture.
at it, honey. I'm looking at it. Okay, first of all, Kevin
Wow,
has no face
yeah,
on there.
Brent is
Kevin, you
tall.
are short. I'm looking at the picture of you and Brent.
Thank
Where's
you.
that
Thank
picture
you.
at? Where's that picture?
Where's that picture at?
It's right next to him on mine.
Yeah, Tracy, I see it. Yeah.
Wait, maybe I'm tripping.
Yeah, that's me and Brent. Brent taller than me. He an inch taller than me. I told y'all.
Brent was going like this.
I need to see that picture.
He was
It's
going
Well,
up
I'm looking
there.
at both of them in the same
We
spot.
actually look like we related. That's
Y'all
a
do.
freaky
Y'all
looking
like
picture.
brothers.
That's really kind of scary.
Yeah, I don't.
I gotta look back, Kevin. I gotta look back at the picture. Remember the time I was in LA and you stopped
Brent,
by?
you was going like this.
Yeah.
I gotta
I
look
was
at that
bending
picture. That'll
down.
tell me. That'll tell the story.
Tanya, Terrence came to LA and he stopped at the Hilton where we went for we was at the hotel for what's his name? Terrence came there back.
I like
Terrence, what year was that?
Like 2019.
You said
No,
what?
I remember.
Wait a minute. Oh, stop the press. Tracy, wait, stop the press. Tracy, what you say? Tracy,
don't
what you
start
say?
with me.
He is in rare form tonight.
Wait. Tracy.
Tracy.
Tracy, what you say? Tracy, what you say?
Brent, you're that tall. I love it.
Don't you start with me.
So what?
She said, Brent, you're that tall. I love it.
Don't you start with me.
Hey.
Oh my.
Matchmaker makes me a
Start
match.
with me. I went
He has moments where his
his
heterosexual side takes over.
Matchmaker, make me a match.
Come on.
Find me a find. Catch me a catch.
What?
Y'all are dumb.
Tracy,
No.
you know what? I think about 2 more episodes. You're gonna really open up on this hit show.
You see that? She done got hot flashes thinking about Cisco. Now she
My Lord.
Yeah.
Hey,
My Lord.
Brent.
What a night.
Tracy next time we do a show, Tracy gonna have on a tank top.
Tracy said, "Tell me what you want. Tell me."
Oh gosh.
Oh, man.
Listen, Brent, I really like this picture, man. I don't know if I smile this big. This is really cool. I like
You
this
do
picture.
smile that big when I tell you to smile. I'm sorry.
Mm.
I got it personal with that one.
I'm not drunk to that.
But but this is a nice picture. This is a really this is in Houston, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And you're at
crazy.
the PNC Club.
I was
This is
it
when
looks
I
like
got video.
that's
This
where I
is
see
when I
that
got
too.
video of. I got video of. Because I
But
was
you know
like,
You need to
what?
put
that
you need to put
also-
that in there. Brent dancing and doing whatever.
Give me
But see,
a second. I
Tracy,
need
you are short.
that was funny
You
because
are
when
short.
I met Tanya,
I'm
her
looking
first
at
reaction was like, "Oh."
I said, oh. I said, oh, okay. This is not even in the concert yet. What? Oh, I said, oh, okay.
Yes.
I
And
said,
he had on all black,
so
but if he would have had on all white, he would have did
no,
it way more
but
than
no,
that.
but it was killing every single thousand people who had white on. He was bringing the darkness. I said,
I didn't get the memo. I'm sorry.
He said, he's like, I didn't know. I was like, babe, you are looking. I was happy to walk with you. Okay, let's buy a drink.
The pleasure was all
We
mine.
didn't drink. We don't even drink at all.
I want it to be known that
I mean, fine.
this never bothers me. I know people are probably watching going, wait a minute, ain't that? Yeah, don't worry about it. This
Ain't
is
that word?
something that
You have
we
ain't
deal
you
with
his woman?
all
Last
the
week
time.
you was saying who was that saying something? You was like, you better be glad. Who was that saying something?
That was Chris you was talking about. No, that was Chris.
Chris.
About, oh, cousin, I love you.
Oh,
And I'm
that was
sitting
a
there
couple
going,
weeks. Okay, a couple weeks.
okay.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, all
We
right.
let that
I
go.
missed that part.
He said, "You better be
But
looking."
Tracy, I think that next week, we need to have a segment that's
You get some
solely
rest,
on
Tracy.
you because I done seen you get excited a couple times. I'm like,
You see
She
that?
said, "Oh, sit down."
she said, Brent, you are tall. I love you.
She gave a lot of joy tonight, boy.
Look, she's sitting over here fanning. I'm like, okay.
I told y'all
babe.
next time she's gonna have on a tank top and a glass of wine in her hand. Talking about hi y'all. Oh, he's been contaminated.
I ain't mad.
She was so nice and wholesome before. Terrence, what do you have in your head?
Not at the
Oh,
church.
That's not
Not
Merlot,
at
is
the
it?
church.
She said,
It
"Not
ain't
at the
Mad
church."
Shevitz. Oh,
That ain't no Manischewitz.
Mad Dog 2020 dot.
No, that's Charles Shaw. That's Merlot.
We tired. We got 3 minutes and we gotta go.
All right. Well, we had a good time tonight. We
Brent?
talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about the Church of Time. We talked about relationship comedy, all that other crap.
We kind of
talked
did,
about other
not
stuff.
directly.
Well, we're gonna do it next week because right now it's time for me to go and finish watching Reasonable
What?
Doubt. But
Listen, hold on, pause.
Uh.
Listen, when you're in a relationship, when you introduce or even we're gonna watch a show together, okay? Do not go past the person if they're not gonna watch it. Okay? So
hey Brett, I always say, hey, if we watching a show together and then I come back and you on episode 10 and we left on 3, we got a problem.
we got a problem. So yes, the last night, okay? What episode are you on, honey?
I don't know.
5.
Oh, 3. I'm on 4. I'm on
5.
4.
And what episode am I on?
2.
And where was I at when you were on 5? Where was I at when you were on 5?
Where was I at? Sleep?
Where was I at?
At the
He
house.
said sleep.
let me
You said
explain,
sleep.
bro.
I said sleep.
I'm with you on. I want
Here,
to on that,
here.
Kev. Like, look, if we watch a TV and you fall asleep, I'm not gonna stop watching the movie
Wait a
because
minute,
you
wait a
fall. I
minute,
tell
wait a
my
minute,
wife
Avery.
that all the time.
Avery. Hold on, Avery. Hold on. We were
What's
cousins
going
and now
on
we're
here?
separating ourselves.
Eh?
No, I'm sorry. Look, when it's time for the rapture, you either gonna get here or get gone or get left.
That's the rapture. It's different. We can control.
If you miss me from singing down here, you can't find me nowhere.
You better come on up to Bright Glory.
Come on up.
I'll be waiting up there. I'll be waiting up there. That song was always funny to me. If you miss me from singing down here, you can't find me nowhere. Come up to Bright Glory. I'll be waiting.
I'll be waiting.
That means I'm already gonna be up there. That means
I went before you.
I woke up. I felt like it was 30 minutes. I said, "You on 5?" He was like, "I'm gonna turn it off. Yeah,
because I saw on you the song I was getting sleepy. But But look, Tracy, you have been the focus of today. I think next week we need to go ahead and redo that because I just think it's your time to kind of
Whatever you
shine
did, you
on here.
drunk or did whatever you did
Yeah,
before.
do
I'll
that
be
again.
here.
Have Brent. He's sending everybody stuff from the store. Have him send you
Don't
some
don't send me
gummies.
don't send me nothing, Brent. Don't send me nothing. Don't send me
Lord.
nothing.
Send him some gummies. Some gummies
Send her.
and some
Send her some.
I do need to get
THC.
with you about some of them Vegas gummies because yeah, we'll talk about that
Don't
Oh
offline.
send me
Lord.
nothing.
All
Don't
right,
send me not a thing.
Tracy. We thank you for if you're gonna be the focus next week. I need to get things together. You better drink some beer or
Get
something.
together.
Some beer.
Baby,
No
drink some
beer.
beer in front of Cisco
Some
pictures.
Manischewitz. Some man. Oh yeah, we need to put some Cisco pictures up for you.
That's what we'll do. I
So
got
you
you.
can
I
look
got
like
you.
Pam or Martin when they talk about Denzel.
Call me if you-
Start quivering and shit. All right, brother Brent, you already know what time it is. I got my hand by the end stream right here. You already know what time it is. So it's basically time for you to hit us with the last point of the night. We're going to get off. Hey, everybody, y'all go to YouTube. Look up Mr. Kevin Jerome. Go to YouTube. You'll see this episode. Instagram cuts off after an hour. So we've been off of there. We are on Facebook Live
You
right
on
now. Go check
Instagram?
us
That's
out.
cool.
Yeah, I went on there. It's on my page. I'm still trying to get the Good Samaritan page set up so we can get more traction over there. But we want everybody to come join us. Justin had to be out. We thank everybody else. Let's send this last salutation. He don't come on here no more. He's moving organs and doing a lot of stuff. But to Steve Hackley,
Rearranging
We
organs.
miss you.
Lifting Leslie's.
lifting Leslie's,
Can
and,
we
and
can
plowing
we
paths or something.
right.
can we tag him?
Tag him for what?
No. To say hi.
He'll see it. Yeah, no, he'll see it. He always watches it. That's why I mentioned his name tonight. But yeah, we thank everybody for coming. As we do always, we're gonna get off this here joint because we're trying to get off when Tracy get off because we don't like when Tracy leave. But we
At
ready to get off
all.
right now. So we're doing it early enough for her to be able to get some rest. So, brother Brent, I'm at the hidden stream joint right here. Let's go, brother.
Get ready
let's go.
and go.
Y'all always put me in a hot seat. Well, I mean, I don't really have anything else to say other than shout out to the three women that was on here earlier today that had secret abortions. Yeah,
What?
we appreciate you.
saying.
You have made America great. And
Lord.
yeah,
Wait a minute.
we
I don't
hope
know
that
that.
your secret is safe with whomever you kept the secret from.
Oh God.
So shout out to
Holy
you.
shit.
To you.
What's the backstory?
Wait a minute.
Well, that went dark very quickly.
That was as clear as mud.
Right.
That went dark real quick.
Yeah, I'm like, now I'm looking like, who was on here? Who was on here?
They know who I'm talking about.
Oh,
I don't even know their
God.
names, but I
You know
believe
that
if I
story? Oh.
get into my zone, I can call the names out, but I won't.
Oh, Lord.
Don't get your zone. Don't
In the
be
words of
don't
Hall
be
and
down
Oates,
that thing.
private eyes are watching you.
Uh-huh.
Come on.
Watching
Come
your
on.
every move.
Come
Congratulations
on.
to you. You've managed to escape once more.
Oh,
Ooh.
God.
Once more. Wait a minute. That means
That
Oh,
means
God.
they've been here before.
Once more and again.
they're repeat offenders.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus.
God. Who's
Oh,
been
Lord.
Can somebody check the ticker tape, please?
Right.
Who's been on here?
Listen,
not
we all
necessarily
gonna
the
go
ones
back
that
and
been
watch
on
it
to.
replay and watching the
Only
names scroll by.
wasn't necessarily the ones that was on tonight, but it'd be the ones that watched the replay. It's about 3 of them, but it's okay. Your secret is safe with me.
Heaven
I want to know what
knows.
you're talking about.
Because he says it in sips. He says it in sips.
Tracy. I don't know what's going on.
All right.
Okay,
Who can
can
it
you leave us?
be now?
I'm just gonna unburden myself. It was me. I'm sorry. I couldn't. No, I just couldn't. I couldn't.
All right.
Now you want to hit people with garbage cans.
That was a dump truck. That was a garbage can.
Look like old garbage guts done forgot the crow commandments again.
And most importantly, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say.
Oh shit.
If you don't remember nothing
You got
else
your
I
finger on the
said,
button.
Kevin, do
Yeah,
you
it's
have your
right.
finger on the button?
Yes, sir. I'm ready. Here we
Wait,
go.
wait, 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 wait. Because I might need to
Uh,
leave early.
no, you don't.
You,
Let's
I
go.
know.
Tracy's staying. Let's go.
Yes, this is the last little thing
Tracy ain't no saint.
that I just want to let you all know. It has
Oh,
been scientifically proven
Uh-oh.
that a nut a day keeps the doctor away.
I gotta go.